Hello, and welcome back to CrestVahllen. This will be episode 3, Discount Shopping. From the foreseeable future, we will be doing these little mini recaps. Our sessions are about 9 hours long, give or take, so we will be splitting them up into thirds, so 3 episodes per session. So this will just be the second part out of 3 of session 19. So without further ado, let's get into our recap. Noticing that Sofka was infected by one of the zombies during the previous battle, the group decided to use the now charged Heart of the Hopeful to cure her of her terminal infection. Setting down for a rest and awakening 8 hours later, the others of the gang find Cole rocking in a corner, assailed by mental voices. Meanwhile, Gizmo retrieves the sentient idol from the bag of holding and uses magic to strengthen its imprisonment before returning it to its extra-dimensional storage. Trisheni examines the defunct magic circle on the floor of the cavern, realizing that his has acted as some sort of amplification emitter for the necromantic magic of the zombie horde. Before the damaged Warforged Infantry 9 comes to, Sofka decides to take a walk down the tunnel created by the arcane cannon, removing herself as an enticing target. After convincing the ancient construct to stand down and deactivate, Trisheni and Zemdek attempt to dismantle and extract the brain/core of the Warforged in an effort to find out why the host and Master Oros were so interested and went to such great lengths to access it. But not everything goes as planned. Triggering a failsafe, the construct self-destructs, catching the geniuses in the blast and causing the cavern to begin to collapse. Hearing the explosion and feeling tremors from the collapse, the rest of the party ready spells and begin to move. Racing back down the corridor back whence they came, the eggheads are seldom hit by falling boulders as Trisheni alters gravity to their aid. The two just make it into Cole's dome and sprint towards the safety of sturdy dwarven architecture, leaving the Argent flames stumbling into the dwarven catacombs, panting stale air full of dust and debris. Now, let's get back to it.
Well, that didn't really work.
No shit. Yeah, no, but
we're all alive.
Thank you for that. Yeah,
and Security 4 doesn't have that information that we know.
Well, I think he does though, right? I mean, it's just we don't have it either. Oh, we're so close.
Well, he doesn't have another Warforged to help him.
Shit.
And
he doesn't know it was us.
Yeah.
Small win. We've got away with the terrorism. We still have the terrorism.
That's true. We do have a shrine of.
And now we have a big weapon like the host has.
All right.
And with a good amount of information about how to build this diagnostic device.
Yeah.
Sofka, you are from north, yes? You traveled through the mountain range?
Yeah. Underground, I believe.
Could you perhaps lead us there?
Lead you north? Probably.
Yeah.
Through the mountains. Under the mountains.
Under the mountains? Probably.
There's nothing else that we need to do here, right?
I think it's probably, we've caused enough problems.
You're familiar with the Triway, but that's not the way you passed through the Razorfang Mountain Range.
Okay.
You went through, alternative offshoot tunnels that eventually reconnected themselves and then reasserted themselves along the main way. Because, it's like roots. They branch out from derelict mining shafts to what have you, and everything in between. So yeah, you would go off of the Triway, and very seldom would you actually end up on the Triway. And when you realize that shit, I'm on the Triway, that means people, and you just immediately turned around and then went back onto the more neither natural cavernous stuff. Granted, that means it took you a lot longer to traverse such a distance, but.
Yeah, I mean, it took a while, but I could do it.
I mean, as long as we're hidden from those above, I think we're good.
Do we want to try and find Eleazar before we leave?
I mean...
How do you want to find him?
Don't know, but we didn't have time to really look for him.
Do we know if he's even alive?
Do we know that he's dead?
No. That's the point.
Can you do your messaging, sending thing?
I mean, I could. How would we want to communicate to it, or to him? And do I know that if it fails, is that him dead or is that him unconscious? Is that him? What do we know from that spell failing, if it does?
Could you?
Because I don't know that answer.
Could you look for him with his armor or something like that?
Yeah, up to 1,000 feet.
Yeah. I feel like would your deity would you because it's through him, or
Of
them,
course.
right? So it's like, would they at least like kind of give you a sense that it was just like the connection didn't work? or
TJ,
something?
if I use sending on someone who is passed, would I know?
You mean like is no longer a part of this world, like dead?
Yeah. So like, if Eleazar was dead and I use sending on him, would I know?
You would know that the spell did not go through. That did not complete itself, yes.
But would that
Granted,
happen?
however, if their soul is in a different plane of existence, because they're dead, like if they did something bad and went to hell, and ended up in the 9 hells, or were apart within a realm with their deity in a different dimension, a different plane of existence where their deity lives and their soul is there,
Yeah.
and therefore like their body is there, it could still go through because
Right.
it can go across dimensions. So
Right.
them being dead in the material plane
I know it's all
doesn't
wonky.
really, yeah. So
Yeah.
like it depends because they could end up in the Shadowfell, in the 9 hells, or in a different plane of existence where they're like if they worshipped a deity where they might be, or they don't.
What
And
if
they could
he's
just
a-
be dead.
What if he's a zombie?
Or just asleep.
If they were, that's a good point. They're technically their body, and therefore their soul is trapped and imprisoned within that physical form. So it would go through, but what you would hear is whatever sounds they were making that constituted as automatopoeia for 25 words. Does that make sense?
Brains.
Essentially, there's a very Walking Dead, like walking down soundtrack.
What does it do if they're asleep?
Most oftentimes, when you send a message to somebody psychically that is asleep, they're a very deep sleeper, they might not wake up. But if they are, they usually wake up.
Okay.
But sometimes they don't. You recognize that the spell goes through, and you just don't get
Don't get a
anything
reply.
back.
Okay. So I would know if the spell actually connects.
Yeah, you would know if the spell completes and actually does its intended purpose.
What would you guys want to say to him?
Where the fuck are you?
Are you okay?
Where can you meet?
Granted, if he was being held unconscious by magical means, he wouldn't be able to wake up. That kind of.
But the spell would still go through, and
The
I
spell
would
would still
know
go
that
through.
he technically is still.
Right, and again, even if he is on another plane of existence, if the spell goes through, there would be no way of you knowing that was on another plane of existence. There is, however, a chance for not a 5% chance for it not to succeed if it crosses planes.
Right.
I believe that's what it
Yeah,
says in the spell.
it's 5%.
Yeah.
I think also giving them an option to, with some sort of cryptic response of being like, oh, are you being held captive? Cough once if you are. That way we know.
You did that with his mother, actually.
Yes.
So something like that might be a good thing to put in there too. Also, I'm sorry, Log, that I kind of snapped at you. I just got hit by a lot of boulders. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
this has been crazy.
All right, cool. Sorry.
So, we want to say, are you alive? Are you okay? Can you meet us?
Are you being held captive by somebody? Or something?
Tell us what you can.
Right, and if you can't, cough or something. Know that you're.
Okay.
I guess we could say like pick a point to meet because we wouldn't be able to respond back to. Like,
Well, he should be able to respond back unless he's in a spot where he can't come meet us anyway.
right. I'm saying like he picks the destination instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zemdek. About this time, you hear a voice creep into your head. It did not have to be this way. This was unnecessary. You have made a powerful enemy. I will not let you stand in my way. I will have what you threatened me with in this life or the next. Do you respond? Zebdak?
The message you tried to deliver was not received by its intended recipients.
Is that it?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Do you say it in like a robotic type voice or something too?
Yep.
Oh my god. I love how Zebdak doesn't know how this spell works. That makes a lot of sense. Cool. Go ahead and just roll me just a persuasion check to see how charismatic you are about it.
Remember, I have 0 charisma. Oh, that's not bad though. 16.
16. Okay. Okay, let me just pull up his stat block because I have to look up his insight. Wow. Levels now? That's right. Okay. What did you get for your persuasion check?
16.
16. Okay. You don't hear anything else?
I guess again.
He's just sending me.
Sent you
What did he
where?
say?
What?
Who?
He's sending you somewhere?
Who's he?
Everest. He said it didn't have to be this way, which is kind of a lie. He's not exactly been friendly this whole time, but
He offered us tea.
he is officially against us, and he really, really wants the thing that I threatened him with.
Which was...
The dead body.
Tortesi. Yeah.
I mean, it's good leverage. We could always burn
Also
it.
means there's a huge target on your back now.
Yeah, he knows that we have.
He knows who each and every one of you are.
Except for Safka.
Except for Sofka. And he intimately knows who Zemdak is. Because of Master Oros.
I mean, we could always send him a message.
We could.
The message does not receive its intended recipient.
Alright, so... Do we... We may need to figure out how we want to talk to Tortesi.
Right. And what we would ask if, because you said that it has limitations as far as like how much you can ask, how often you can talk to him, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if we talk to him, what happens to the body?
I've never cast a spell before.
Okay.
Should we do it on one of the zombies? Just to see?
He also knows now that you probably have the body.
I mean, or
Something
just that
that
we
was
know where he
protected
is.
by massive amounts of wards and terrazine to prevent any type of divination to find said body.
I mean, I did as an insult tell him that we found the tomb empty, but not that we found the body.
But then somebody threatened.
Zemdak threatened.
Oh, that's right.
He's like, does the name Tortesi mean anything to you?
Yeah,
As
that's
he reached
right,
into
yep.
his bag.
And he's not
And-
an idiot, so
yeah,
put two and
Emers
two
is
together.
not a dummy.
We could
Very
always
smart.
pull the ripcord.
Get everything else out. You could make another one, but we should maybe ask him first. No.
Or we could just burn the body.
We could go put it in the flame.
If it's still there.
Remember, we talked about this before. Essentially, innocent, helpless soul.
Trapped in a body for millennia. Or however long.
Uh-huh.
No mercy.
In a way, it could be immersive.
Well, technically the soul isn't there anymore, but the body is still could be a shell or recipient of the soul, because because how the minat of the restful works is it it sustains gentle repose on it for as long as it wears it.
And wouldn't that trap the soul?
Well, no. All it does is like prevent the body from decaying, pretty much putting the soul into a state of either limbo or chilling in the Shadowfell or whatever. You don't know too much about it. You've never been to these planes of existence. All you know that it would be easier and capable for even lower level magic that you are capable of to resurrect said creature. Because the body hasn't aged since the moment that it died.
Do we think? I mean, Zandak, I feel like you guys could probably figure out some sort of recording device, and we could record whatever this last conversation would be with this body before we disposed of it. We could have that be recorded and kind of either taunt the host or show the host, yeah, no, I don't love you, or whatever it is, you know, that it... I'm just thinking here, you know.
I mean, we could even ask the body if it wants to be freed of this.
Right. And then that would be proof to his beloved of, you know, his actual feelings and intentions and things. Do you think like something like that could be possible?
Could be. I know there are spells that mimic voices and can record messages. So, yes.
How much would he trust?
I just don't know. It would take some inventing and some working, so it couldn't be something we do anytime soon.
Right, and you raise a good point of what if he would even trust it, but I mean...
If we're doing this, do we want to do it in a city where we're not sure of the head of the garden?
Well,
it wouldn't be here,
I don't have any of that prepared right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's something more going on, obviously, for security for... Like, why is he interested in the city being overrun by zombies and not caring about the populace of which he's sworn to protect? Alright? For eons.
Protect
Yeah. Right. Like, has it fallen off the good graces of what his original
what is he sworn to protect?
Is he sworn to protect
the citizens,
city or the citizens?
the people, their bodies, their soul? What?
Alright, do you have any insights based on your conversations with him?
He has found his way around programming. He has found a lot of ways to manipulate his programming to do what he wants.
I wonder who his original soul was, you know? Like, that'd be interesting too.
Yeah. He's definitely found ways to not always follow what you'd think he would.
Okay.
Alright, do you want me to use sending on Eleazar?
Yeah, I mean, we know that he's a friend, right?
As of right now.
Right.
It's either that or I send one to Pernua and figure out where the heck she is.
Yeah.
And if she'll respond.
I mean, it's still kind of crazy that she trusted, because she trusted the host to take her along so that, he could show her how she could really destroy him.
Granted,
Like,
you know
But he
the
programmed
nature
her,
of who
basically.
she is
yeah.
and how she was created. And he created her.
Right.
Right.
So it doesn't mean that he can't change her target of revenge to, I don't know, us?
No, I think based on what we know, though, that wouldn't change.
Right, from what
What we figured out before.
it's a little ambiguous, but from what you figured out before, he specifically made himself the target of her revenge, but also made it that since he was the caster of the spell or whatever ritual that he did, that she was essentially unable to harm him because he had entire agency over her. Meaning that she was stuck in this tormentive limbo of not being able to fulfill her revenge, but being kept immortal by said revenge. So even the promise of the fulfillment of such revenge, imagine you were being tortured for years and years and years on end, and somebody said, I can make this end. Just do whatever I say. You'll take it.
Yeah.
Of course you'll take it. Unless you were like trained for years and years to not, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah. But it's still not him necessarily controlling her. It's just there's still.
that's the thing. You don't entirely understand the intricacies of this thing. It's a little beyond you.
Okay.
Whole revenant, undead, necromancy thing is it's a little beyond you. As far as this is new stuff. This isn't stuff that you would be able to inherently understand. Even given his notebook, you inherently understand as a spellcaster. He's definitely doing some cutting edge spellcrafting here, and there's a reason why he was doing it in secret, for sure. So he's definitely trying to bend some laws and break others. For the, not the express purpose, but definitely of the purpose of, from what you gleaned before, creating and reviving an immortal being.
Mm-hmm.
So they would technically be undead, but for all intents and purposes be exactly who they were in life. Not dissimilar from, like, the vampires of lore, except, they have the caveat of having to feed and a bunch of other, and daylight deals and everything. So essentially, like, the way he would do it is that they'd be undead, but they would just be a regular person. A little makeup, and they're immortal. Essentially making people unable to die and have all of the agency and everything they had in their actual life. Which is a huge feat. Which is why it's taken him so long to do such a thing, why he even invoked the powers of Terrazine in order to do it, and all the other sacrifices he's made. Fuck, why was he here? That's a big thing. What does this thing know that he would want?
Well, I mean, if it can put a soul into a robot, that probably would have something to do with it.
Maybe.
Right. Learning a little bit from that process anyway.
How to forge a soul.
Right, because we knew that he couldn't capture Pernua's soul before, right? It was really just her memories, etc. It was like the missing component. So perhaps you're right.
Maybe. And maybe this isn't just a single goal as well. Maybe there's other things he's also trying to accomplish.
That would be nice.
I mean, this is a highly intelligent, highly dangerous individual that initially didn't really see you guys as a threat and was like, I have no beef with you. I have a thing I have to accomplish. Sure, let's have some tea. We'll talk about it. It's fine. But you have now almost killed him and threatened something that he holds very dear.
It's true. We were just home invaders the first time.
Yeah, we stumbled upon it. Well, yeah, some things to consider, but I think if you want to contact the liaison,
Okay.
makes sense.
I'll cast sending on Eleazar.
Okay, cast sending on Eleazar. You are familiar enough with the individual and the name and the form that you know it just goes through, so you just tell me what it is you'd like to say, and I'll tell you if it completes.
You alive? Choose meeting place if can meet. If captured, can't talk, cough. Do you want us to come after you? Have sword and shield.
Okay. There's a long, uneasy moment of pause before you hear
So he coughed. which means he's captured somewhere and can't talk.
Also sounds like
He's
not a very healthy cough.
does it sound? So it sounds. It sounds like he might be almost turned into a zombie.
Possibly.
That's
Could be.
cool.
It was not a good cough.
He's already captured.
He's captured and probably infected. But he didn't give us any information about where or how to find him.
Right, because he couldn't.
Did the host potentially capture him as a new subject?
I think he would have flaunted that. At least in the sending message to Zemdek.
Maybe Security
Guards?
4 has him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We don't have a way to heal him anymore.
No.
No, unless you. Because the lower level restoration spell you prepared before works,
It's
right?
not.
Or no?
I mean, I always have it prepared, but I don't know if it's going to do anything against this.
It was never enough.
Yeah, because
Lesser Restoration is a dope spell, but yeah, there are just some things that are beyond the limits of it.
Right.
one
Well, be it-
disease or one condition being blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
It's pretty much a status effect. Notwithstanding diseases that are strong and magically enhanced. The 5e was pretty scant on diseases that actually did stuff to you. I made my own disease table because it makes sense. Like, fuck, you have magic, which means you have a way of dealing with this stuff, but it makes sense that fucking trudging through sludge and sewage and
As a paladin,
getting
isn't he immune
bitten
from disease?
Yes, he is.
So is he immune from being turned into a zombie?
I hate
Yeah,
that
this-
look. I hate that look.
That's what you heard.
I heard not a good cough.
That could just mean he was beat up.
Yeah,
True.
He could be getting his teeth kicked in as we speak.
Right.
How many of those can you send?
But would you know? First of all, just meta. Would you know that paladins are
Yes,
immune
because
to-
we've had.
Yeah,
the
well,
that's
whole
right, you
money
guys
rock-
had that conversation.
That's why-
That's a good point.
We knew that it was him. He
Okay,
was
so
okay.
then Argus,
with it.
since
Yeah.
you're the one that sent the message, please roll an intelligence check. Or an insight. Actually, this is insight.
Insight?
This is
Okay.
insight.
21.
He was faking it. Whatever that was, he was faking it.
So he's fake coughing at me.
Which means he's captured.
Not necessarily. Well, it's true. He
See, not supposed to be
would I. Well, he knows that if he coughs like that, and I know that would him telling me he's captured. We're not.
But he
gonna
also
just go-
knows that you know that he's
Immune
immune
to
to disease.
Right.
So he's either putting on an air for somebody else that's present
Yeah.
and letting you know that
That he's captured. He's captured. He's immune to disease from our fun mommy incidents.
right.
plans within plans within plans within plans. It's a lot of fun, guys. I love you guys peeling back all these layers. It's a lot of fun. Guys, D&D is the best game in the world. You can quote me on that. It's the best fucking game in the world.
So who would he need to convince
Any.
that he is still in danger?
Obviously, with your inside checks, his captor.
Right.
I mean,
But,
Thanks,
like,
TJ.
we were going
You're very
to-
welcome. I'm here to help.
I don't know,
mean-
DM misinformation.
I mean, we're all sorry. Go
It's
ahead.
got to be. I mean, the thing that comes to my mind is Security 4.
Right, that's where my mind was going too. But then I'm thinking, oh, is that too obvious? Why would Security 4 know that Eliezer was there by himself,
Of course he would know.
I mean, I guess they really had the stone swarm downstairs for the gutbuster and doing that thing. And
Could it have been potentially the ones that we, took all the goods for and hid the zombies inside of the crypt?
I mean, that would be quite the revenge, I suppose. Could be.
I don't know how we could find him, apart from I can locate objects, but that's only 1,000 feet.
Right.
We could always go back to the room and see if we can find any sign of anything. I mean, even coming out their torn clothing, something.
Right. I feel like whenever we go topside, it's going to be very different from what we saw before. So it's
he went over the edge.
We saw blood dragged along. If it's a balcony, then...
Cole doesn't know this, but you saw that the door had been busted in, too.
Mhm.
And
The door was busted in. So clearly somebody went in to get him, and
And
he either
definitely
tried
at
to
that time, you know where security 4 was.
he was in the tower. So it wasn't necessarily him, but maybe it might have been his minions. The question is whether Eliezer went off the balcony.
he also knew where Emrys was, so we can't.
Right. But did he jump and were there tracks down there below? Or did he get carried above?
Or is this a whole other person?
I have to admit, it is hard to come up with this stuff to make it
Or could it even be...
difficult to figure out. Because I know all you guys are smart. So it's
Or
hard
could
to
it
outsmart.
even be Throt and his friend trying to get revenge on us?
Bensky.
I mean,
Do they ever come up to the surface?
right.
Would
did
I
he-
know that they? I mean, they do come up to the surface, but not often.
What does?
Throt and Pensky.
Would they enter an inn?
They themselves
No.
do not. No,
Okay,
They
no.
send swarms of rats
Yeah,
or
okay.
their followers to do their bidding for them. They'll send a swarm of rats to raid a dumpster and pull a bunch of sandwiches out of it. And
Yeah,
bring it
for
back
example,
down.
a grilled cheese that I was really
Yes.
excited about.
For a very specific example, which you're still super mad about.
Oh yeah,
I can't believe he wouldn't give us.
That was
any sort of
still
hint,
warm
like,
too. The cheese was still that goopy thing. It didn't become that
Yeah.
solid
Right.
when you bite into it. It was still flowy and
Unless
mellifluous.
he's pretending like his brain's gone.
Right.
And if he's pretending like he's turning into a zombie, it has to be somebody who understands or relates to the zombie incursion.
We were being... No, that was the other. What about Flixens and her gang? Maybe one of them saw us and...
She got
Could be.
turned into a zombie.
She did, but what about... She had to have had associates, right?
Well, yeah.
I feel like maybe...
Well, we know that they were stone sworn.
Right, another reason that Security 4 could have had involvement as well.
Could be. I'm gonna bring up. It could be anybody. If Argus has a spell that can locate object, there's other people that could maybe have used that to find him there too.
True.
Didn't he used to be a bounty hunter or something?
Yeah.
That was another thought of mine. Maybe it was a rival bounty hunter, something that was completely unrelated, you know?
Or an old target.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, if he was being held captive by Security 4, I would assume that he would be in the, the tower in the center of the Wodak district, right? You'd think.
I mean, you could locate person right next to the tower.
Yeah. I guess, what would we use it on? We would assume his armor, but if he's captured, they would have taken that off.
Mm-hmm. Did he have any Did he actually have a pendant or anything that he was wearing for his deity?
He had that turtle brooch.
Well, Pernua does now.
For as far as you know, no. He was very secretive about his deity. More secretive than you even. All you know is that he would sometimes refer to it as the Warm Blizzard, and that's what he called his sword. That was forged out of said material that you found in the Fafit ruins.
Right. Are there any other logical places that we would know of that he would be, potentially?
No. If we could find our way back to that entrance up to the guard post, we'd be at least inside the Wodak district looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
But is this all going to be blamed on us if we go to the surface?
Yes,
With our luck, yes.
without a doubt. Security 4 has already placed the burden of this on us.
Right.
If he was in on it.
How fortuitous it was for a bugbear to be just around, you know? You're taking the blame. You could take the blame for it. And everybody would believe it because you're an evil bugbear, you know, that quote unquote. Was it that bad?
Everybody out there, we just broke the DM. Thank you.
Okay. Just to be clear, bugbears are not viewed by and large as evil. However, a large portion of them, or like a high percentage of the population of them, do live in nomadic tribes that are, by and large, known to act like bandits and raid and ambush trade caravans. Their appearance will sometimes is very off-putting to the majority of the population. So they find themselves more comfortable in their own tribes, and it doesn't mean that they're bad people. It's just that society and civilized, air quotes, society has pushed them off to the fringes of it, to the point where, for some, the only way to survive is by raiding said caravans. And so it's by no choice of their own that they've been pushed into this position, but others absolutely do find themselves as, reputable members of society. It's just that there for sure are some racial preconceived notions in the world as a large considered thing. So bugbears aren't evil; they're just another race of monstrous, air quotes, type of people that no different than goblins. I mean, there are goblins that are about, that do things. It's just it's not something you would expect. And that's also entirely up to your characters about how you would react and believe certain races would interact with that. But yes, there are probably societies or areas of the world that would be more accepting of said monstrous races than others. Karadane, being a military fortress, probably isn't one of them.
Well, he's already in trouble because he disappeared out of jail.
Right. Also,
So it's all convenient to pin on. Then.
Right.
Right. Also, Karadine being a military fortress that has had to deal with many bugbear raids in the past, again, probably isn't one of the more understanding cities.
Right. The quote-unquote evil part being how they would paint you and the propaganda that they did spread,
Correct.
Especially since they're already, you were all
By no
out for-
fault of your actual own.
Well, that's debatable.
Best of intentions, as usual.
Always the best of intentions.
Anyway, alright, so back to the point. If we were to go to the surface, we would not have very much time, most likely. Alright, so we would need to move quickly before anybody caught us and blamed us for exactly what happened, even though we stopped it. So do we go to the surface, or do we forego everything?
Safka, do you know a way through the underground to get into the dungeons?
Would I know that?
Probably. I'll probably figure that out.
I could probably figure it
I'll
out.
make you roll a survival check to see like how accurate it is where of like specific location you want to emerge from.
We know
But
there's
yeah,
a way.
I mean that's just part of your background ability. Is that as long as you are within an urban area and underground, you can make your way via these underground tunnels pretty much anywhere. Tunnel allowing that there is such a tunnel.
Okay.
And we can't get lost because you've got that nifty cane, right? With the pointing north.
Yeah, between the two of you, you'll never get lost.
I mean, so that could get us close enough without going on the surface to where maybe you can locate
If he's in the dungeon,
if he's in the
Which-
dungeon.
I guess could be a possibility.
So, should I start showing you guys the way, or?
I mean, I think it's worthwhile, right?
Yeah.
We can at least
Okay.
get closer and continue thinking about how we might contact him.
So you
Right.
guys start following Sofka towards the center of Karadim, near the Cairn Tower. You guys are pretty deep right now. So you know that, one, if you go any deeper, you'll most likely encounter the Pre-Canrin catacombs. At the moment, you are part in the Dwarven catacombs. If you go any higher, you'll either encounter the sewers or the dungeons, especially since you're headed closer towards Cairn Tower. Go ahead, Sofka, roll your survival check.
That is a 13.
13. You end up traversing a couple tunnels that you're not entirely familiar with. You, sweetheart, you personally have never purposefully sought out the dungeons.
Yeah.
Because why would you?
Makes sense.
So this is still like a trailblazer path for you. This isn't something that you have done before. Having said that, after about an hour's worth of travel, you realize that you're probably beneath them, and there are a couple of different ways that you could emerge from. But you don't know where you're going to end up
Okay.
once you emerge from them. You could end up in a guard station. You could end up in a cell. You could end up in a prison hallway corridor.
So,
A couple different options.
We're pretty much right above.
Below.
Or below. They're pretty much prisons above. But I'm not sure where we're gonna pop out.
Okay.
Wait, well, I don't know how much this would help, but I have Pass Without a Trace, so that might help me. And
That is good, but remember they have to stay within 30 feet of you to retain that stealth bonus.
Yeah, but that's...
So your best bet would be to go with them.
yeah, that's what I was.
You turned into a bear before. Is that the only thing you can turn into?
Oh, I can turn into anything.
That's really fucking cool.
Bitch, I can turn into anything.
I can turn into a rat. I love turning into rats.
Okay. I mean,
Do you want to be a big rat or a little rat?
Little rat.
Okay.
that it would go unnoticed, and you could certainly scout if you wanted to. You
Okay.
know, I mean, it's up to you. But just thinking about how we might be able, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Anybody else have any other thoughts?
I mean,
So who?
What is your objective here? Just so I
To look
have
for
an
her.
idea. So
Try
you're
to
looking
find
for
Eleazar?
Eleazar? Okay.
Okay.
like, I don't know what object I can locate on him.
Right, especially if he doesn't have any jewelry or anything anywhere, right?
Does horn count as an object?
Not
Well-
if it's attached to his person, then no, because it's still part of his form. It's part of him being a creature. It's like his body. It would have to be something he's adorned with, or something that he carries with him. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Adam.
If you located his armor, It may not show
Where he is.
him, but it would at least let us know if, you know what I mean? Because when they took your things log, they were kept here. Yours, Argus. They were kept here.
Yeah.
So it would at least let us know if he had been taken by the guards.
Right. I mean, do we have a sense of how deep we are from the surface? Do you know?
So, are we like right above where we're gonna pop out?
Yeah,
or-
if you want to be, you can essentially, because of your abilities, can be wherever you want to be.
Okay.
If you want to be a couple levels below, you can. You can easily traverse that, or if you want to be right below in the grate right above you that empties into the dimly lit glow of torchlight into said prison, you can be that as well.
So, we're about a level below where
Okay.
we're gonna pop out.
I mean, how tall is the tower?
Right.
Fucking tall. 300 feet tall.
That's,
I believe, the total is, the Cairn Tower at its very peak is 300 feet tall.
so if it's
So if we're right under it and it's within 1,000 feet, we should definitely be able to ping if it's
Yeah.
anywhere.
right, both sides too,
Right.
right? Yeah.
I mean, essentially, you're still. I mean, you don't know how deep you are, but.
Well, if it's
I've
not the
been,
story.
I've been in the dungeons.
Right, actually, you were brought down here and you were conscious when you were brought down here.
Yeah.
So you assume you're about anywhere between 150 to 200 feet down. Pretty much, actually, well, if I'm being like super accurate, anywhere between 50 feet and 200 feet down. Because depending how deep you
Yeah.
So I'm still within 1,000.
So we'd still be within
So
that.
yeah, you would
amount.
essentially encompass a good portion of the Wodak district and the entirety of Cairn Tower if you were right beneath it.
Right, because how wide is the tower? Like, what's the diameter of the tower?
The
at
diameter of the
surface?
tower
I should
is
specify.
the diameter of the
I think
tower
1,000
is
feet would be it.
most likely about we'll say like 150, 125 feet, something like that.
Okay.
Enough that there is enough room for there to be rooms right up to the very top before it peaks out into that spire.
Okay. So yeah, based on my calculations, I think yeah,
We
1,000
should
feet.
be able to know if his
Yeah.
armor's anywhere within.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe before you turn into a rat, unless you want to really turn into a rat right now, maybe you
Well,
do.
let's cast locate object because we may
Right.
not even be going into the prison.
Right.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to spend. I can only do it every once in a while.
Okay.
So, I'll
All right.
wait.
I'll cast locate object on Eleazar's armor.
Love,
Okay.
Get your drink.
You cast locate object. Can you?
I've been waiting for this day.
Can you give me specifics of the spell, please?
'Cause I'm pretty sure.
Is it like a ping that it tells you it is, or it tells you
Describe
actually...
the name of the object, or describe or name an object that is familiar to you. Your sense of direction to the object. You sense the direction to the object's location as long as the object is within 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you know the direction it's moving. The spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you have seen it up close within 30 feet at least once. Alternatively, you can locate
Right, I just need to know the specifics of, like, you know exactly where, you know the direction in which it is within 1,000 feet of you. Okay.
I know the direction, and if it's moving, I know the direction.
You get a
it's moving.
ping, it's stationary. It is within a couple hundred feet of you. You know exactly the distance?
It just says you sense the direction.
So, you know that it's within 1,000 feet of you. Pardon me.
Fake.
Pardon me.
Wrong pipe.
Yeah, just beer down the wrong pipe.
Whoops.
We're not drinking alcohol here. Shut up. This podcast is not for children, but is also for everybody. Pardon me. You sense that it is on a 3-dimensional level above you and to the northwest, but not. Well, you don't know how far.
It is within range. This way. I don't know which way's north at the moment, so it's
That general. Okay. Well, that's a good sign, right? We've at least found where his armor would
I have
take
10
it.
minutes that I can keep its location,
Okay.
and I'm out of seconds. Then I would have been out of spells a while ago.
Let's do it.
Short rest.
Right, short rest in the back.
Yeah.
So
So let's. Are we gonna all sneak in? I mean,
If you're like,
Sofka, can you lead us further northwest until we can get directly underneath it?
yeah.
With that survival roll, this is the entrance that you have found.
No, but could I like lead them through tunnels?
now that we know where this
that's,
is.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying with your 13 survival roll,
This is about our best
this
bet.
is the entrance that you were able to find for
let's.
into the prisons.
You know,
So
he's-
if you wanted to move further
prisoner
northwest, you would have to enter the prisons first.
Okay. Do you want?
Because pretty much you are allowed, via your background, are allowed to find an entrance to any area within the city via the tunnels. Finding another entrance to the city is a different thing entirely.
Okay.
What does your pass without a trace do?
Gives plus 10 and stuff.
Plus 10 on stealth.
I mean, then we can turn invisible. You can turn someone else invisible to add on top
With
of
your
that.
spell slot level,
We have
are you
Conk
able to turn
with
somebody
us.
else invisible, or is it?
If I use a spell slot instead of my
Okay.
feet,
Just
I-
asking.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I can, but it costs me a spell slot.
We
So-
aren't the most quiet people.
We have Conk with us, and Argus is heavily armored. So
We would have to split the party, and
even with pass without a trace, I don't know that
Okay.
breaking into prison is the greatest.
I could just turn into a rat and report back.
Do you know what he looks like?
oh,
Big.
do you want to look
White.
like him for a second?
No, I've seen him.
He met him. He
Oh,
met
that's
him
right,
in
that's right.
Filibuster.
You
Okay.
watched us do the
Big
you
red
watched us do the
lizard dude?
ceremony.
Yeah, yeah, the giant kobold dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
What can you remember?
Yeah, because otherwise, also like with the invisibility, if they saw past your illusion, they might be able to see past the invisibility.
true.
that we-
And they would be just security for.
Right, but I mean, security for. But who knows what's happened since
So
yesterday too.
pop on in and go northwest looking for him as a rat.
I only have 10 minutes to locate him. Or where the armor is. It's not him, technically. So I guess we're looking for where he is. That's a whole different thing. It doesn't really matter.
Okay. So
We know
just
where
look
armor is in the
around.
prison.
So you turn into a rat.
Sweet.
Nico and the other rats that have kind of just been around your aura and just chilling and vibing around your area be like,
He's like,
and they just raise their hands and hooray, yay, you're our size, let's party.
Can I tell them to look for the?
One of them
dragonborn?
pulls out a thimble of what looks like some fermented like sewage juice. It's like,
I just kind of like bump it and don't drink it.
it's like a party pooper.
Would you be able to?
I can. Oh, it only lasts for 1 minute.
Could I could I like get them to look for the dragon for Eleazar too?
You want them to, you want to communicate with them
Let me
to
see if I have that spell.
Hmm?
No, I don't. Never mind. Could I kind of like? No, I can't communicate with them. Even if
you
I'm
can try to. I'll make you roll an animal handling check because
Okay.
obviously with rats you have an affinity. So
okay, I'll roll an animal handling check to try to get them to look for. That is a dirty 20.
30-20. You through
I'm having an intimate, intense conversation. By
all these squeaks among rats. Do your best to try to communicate. Find a big person with big clunky armor on it, because you know, like, and when you're a rat, like color vision isn't like super colorful. It's a little bit more dulled down.
big lizard. big armor.
Big lizard, big armor. And they're like, okay, we kind of get it. Sure. And they just scatter and move about. And you're going to follow them or
I
take
thought
a different spot?
we would all kind of fan
Yeah, you
out.
want to disperse? Sure, fan out. Sure.
So, rolling. What am I? So am I.
So you scurry up to the barred drainage area. That's kind of like those semicircle at the end of a hallway where people pretty much broom sewage waste into the sewers. You scurry out of that. All of you fan out and spread out among the corridors in search for a big lizard in big armor.
Wait, before you go, Safka, do you want to smell this before you go?
Oh yeah, I do get perception checks at advantage if I smell.
I'm assuming somebody still has the sword and or shield.
Yeah.
Oh, I have his sword and shield.
Okay.
Okay.
So I
You-
take a sniff.
You sniff it. Now go ahead. What I'll say is that I know it's perception, I'm going to say, but this is more of an investigation because you're kind of looking around. So go ahead and take an investigation check at advantage, and I'll roll a check for the swarm of rats that I sent to do your bidding.
Okay. Another dirty 20.
Another dirty 20.
Nice.
The other rats scurry and spread and go about their search. A rat in a prison is not uncommon by any means necessary. So they entirely blend in. Nobody thinks anything of it. You do run across a guard here or there, but again, all they do is like, ugh, every once in a while try to bat at you. You turn a corner, you turn another corner. You pull a U-turn, you run through one cell, go through the drainage of that cell into another cell, and you come across a orange and yellow with a purple like battle skirt set of armor leaned up against the corner.
And it's... would I know?
Looks extremely familiar.
Okay. Does it smell similar?
Smells exactly the same.
Okay.
The armor is empty, but there is a note pinned to the battle skirt.
Can I read it or take it?
I mean, you're a rat.
You know, like the scene in Ratatouille where he takes the thing.
Oh yes, the scene in a Disney movie.
You would still be able to read it. if
Wild
it was
shape, he retains his.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
be able to read
no.
it.
No, I don't mean that you. I meant physically. Could you open the envelope?
Oh.
I thought it was just a no.
Yeah, I thought it was that's what I was picturing. It's like a post-it.
it's a folded note that's pinned to something, meaning like there is a pin through the paper, like when you pin a brooch to you, that's then pinned onto it. So it's honestly, if you have the strength as a rat to pull a pin out of paper and. But sure, you know what? Fucking try it. Go ahead. Fuck it. You know what? I don't want to be that guy. Go ahead and just roll a strength check for me.
Using the rat strength.
Oh, God.
Because that's the one thing. Yeah, that's one of the things.
An 8?
8.
No, a 6, my
A
bad.
6.
Wrong direction.
As you pull with all your might, and the pin sticks firmly in there.
Dang. So I can't take it, but could I try to read it? So is it folded?
Yeah,
Like,
so it's like tri-folded. Like, you know, when a piece of paper is folded in 3
Yeah.
parts, like when you get it in the mail, and then it has a pin through it, and then pinned to the skirt, and then pulled back through like a
Dang.
brush.
Rat strength, man. Not it.
Chew a hole around it.
Yeah, can I chew a hole around it?
Yeah, if you want to. You want to like chew a hole around the part that has the pin through it, so
Yeah.
it'll come out.
Yeah.
Okay, you might lose some of the information that is part of that hole because it's the hole that's gonna go through the paper 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than nothing.
You could chew out in a cross pattern, and then it folds in, and then you can pull it out.
Welcome to D&D, guys, where we figure out how to chew the holes in folded pieces of paper. This is Origami Polymetrics 201.
Well, this is the puzzle you're giving us, right?
You solved my puzzle! Fantastic. What is it that you are doing, Safka?
I'm chewing around. I'm not thinking that much through. I'm just
Okay, so
chewing
here's
around.
what I'll do. I'll have you roll just a sleight of hand check to see how small you can make this hole. Pull this
Sleight
letter
of
out.
mouth check.
So would I
Sleight
get,
of mouth check.
would I get my proficiency bonus if I'm a rat or no?
Well, you use the...
Yeah,
use
you
use
would.
the,
For
like
the-
I believe you use the rat stats.
It's basically you use
Dexterity.
the rat stats, except you keep your intelligence, your wisdom.
Oh, okay.
Because that's still you, right? Like,
But would
and
I get
your
the
ability to
proficiencies
read.
of sleight of hand?
I actually don't know.
I
That's a
I
very
think
good
you
It
question.
makes sense if they're retaining all the other stuff.
I think you do,
So I would?
Let me look that up.
Okay.
because you're wild shaping into that form.
Sleight
It's
of
just
mouth.
like if you were to be able to fly, right? If
Yeah.
you were a creature that could fly, it's an ability that's
Yes. So you retain all of your skill and saving throw proficiency,
Okay.
in addition to gaining those of the creature.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
The people who are in front of computers.
Yep.
So that is a... Whoa. Math. 17.
17. Not bad. You pretty much just nibble a hole around the needle, and the needle is pushed all the way through. So like the nib of the head of the needle, not the tip, but the head of the needle, you just pull around it and then thread it through the back after you pull it out. So now it has 3 small holes, as you kind of like, and pretty much have to lay on the piece of paper to keep it flat. As you spread it out, you just kind of go spread eagle on the piece of paper. It is written in common.
Ooh, nice.
It is written in very fancy filigree.
Ooh.
That means not security for.
Right. Security 4's old IBM printer.
Okay.
Right, exactly.
So I read it. I can read it.
You can read it. There are 3 words missing
Okay.
because of the holes.
Okay.
Your prize, blank, mine. We need blank meat.
Alright, so your prize blank.
Meat or meat?
MEET.
Yeah, I was thinking MEAT.
It took me a second until I started filling in blanks.
Don't worry, TJ, I got it the first time.
Great. Your prize, blank, mine. We need blank meat.
Said there were 3 words missing. That's 2.
I'm not done yet.
He's being nice to us.
I appreciate that.
Pauses for
Sorry.
dramatic effect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pause for dramatic effect.
Pause for letting us write, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations on blank promotion.
Congratulations on what?
Blank promotion. Signed, EA.
EA?
So that would be.
Emrys Aurenbach.
What if Emrys helped Security 4 take out the captain? Security 4 got a promotion during the chaos.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense, but we are not there. We don't know what's going on.
That's right. None of you are there.
Sorry,
Only Sofka
sorry,
has
he hasn't
information at the moment.
relayed that to us.
Okay, so
But
meta.
but
Sofka,
that's,
but you have to get
Yes.
safely back to your companions in order to relay that information.
okay. So Sofka looks at it.
You take the note with you,
Um
or do you leave it here
Can
to
you?
be found?
it's up to you.
Eat it.
I was actually thinking about that.
Eat it.
I was just thinking about like chewing out each word. So no.
So it's just
like
a blank piece of paper with holes in it?
yeah, just like chewing it up a little.
Is that
bit,
what you want to do?
So everyone thinks that the rats just got it. I don't know.
It's you're there, right? Like,
What do you
it's up
do?
to you.
It's entirely up to you. Take a moment to think about that.
Sokka is just sitting there like. Would
Spread
this
eagle
be
on the
weird?
piece of paper, being like pondering
Whether or not
philosophy.
no, Sokka's like, would it be weird if someone saw a chewed up piece of paper?
I don't
When-
think so.
when
Not,
you-
What would be worse?
if they know there's a
Right.
bunch of rats in there.
Yeah, I think that's
If rats aren't
normal.
uncommon in there, it looks like it's been chewed on by an animal. I think that
Actually,
makes
rats
sense.
like to use paper in their nests. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I
everyone
mean,
just
it
looks
doesn't.
at
To me, it
so-
doesn't sound weird.
Also, when you turn into a rat, are you
Cody
just like a
thinks it's a good
brown
idea.
rat, or
No,
are
I
you like?
I'm like a kind of like splotchy rat.
Okay, cool.
So your rat has kind of the vitiligo thing
Yeah.
going on too. I love
Yeah.
that. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that you're
cool.
carrying it through.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, cool. I guess I chew it up. I have it memorized. It's cool.
No, so it's just be like, why is this armor here?
Right.
Yeah, I feel like someone would be more interested in the armor than the slightly chewed up piece of paper.
Totally. You know.
Would it be suspicious if I took it back? Just a rat carrying a large note? Like the scene in Ratatouille where he flies.
Have you not seen rats carry things?
Yeah,
I mean, a slice
There's
of pizza.
rat.
fair enough. Alright, I'm gonna take it back.
You damn dirty rat.
I'm gonna steal the note.
Perfect.
Imagine Adam.
Adam's just sitting there going, God
Pizza
damn it.
Rat is awesome. Don't at me about Pizza Rat. Pizza Rat is awesome. Love Pizza Rat. I'm a New Yorker. I fucking love Pizza Rat. Pizza Rat is like, oh, I'm sorry, but like half of New Yorkers wish they were cool as Pizza Rat. Okay, like if you had that much pizza, you feel like a king for a day.
I mean, they were like this big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you had a pizza that was essentially larger than your physical form, you're king for a day.
Oh yeah, no, I was talking about the rat. And the pizza itself.
yeah,
is
no,
like
the
that.
pizza- the
Right.
rat's a
You
huge-
know,
Those
it's
challenges do exist at some restaurants.
Yeah, that's very true. Quite a few of them in Chicago and New York. That's the thing. Like, fuck. Being a rat at that size with that big okay, I gotta stop getting off. Carrying on too much of this.
Especially because I keep watching like Adam's face.
I've
when we
already
get off
lost
the
a
tangents,
viewer
and it's
just by talking
hilarious
about
to see.
Pizza
It's
Rat.
just like, oh, they're at it again.
I mean, to be fair, he does that when he's here too.
That is true. I can just see it even better now with him like posted up over there.
Oh my god, Pizza Rat.
All right, so you
So
were.
I'm gonna take the note with me.
Okay, you're not gonna eat it. You're gonna take it with you.
I'm gonna take it with me. I'm just gonna so they see the holes, so they don't think I'm leaving anything out. And I'm just gonna
So the
walk on
words.
back.
Okay. Okay, so. You only leave prepositions behind. I love it. It's super vague. Great. Prepositions and articles. Great. So you take the note with you. A rat carrying a note is far more conspicuous than a rat.
Huh.
Don't give me that.
Okay.
It absolutely is.
Where did we just talk about Pizza Rat?
Yeah.
Everybody fucking videotape Pizza Rat.
No, but they don't think that's a human right
It's a
there.
fucking viral video.
But we also did talk about the fact that rats do like paper for their nests and the like.
Okay. Please roll a stealth check.
Didn't you cast pass without a trace beforehand?
No.
you
I
can't
didn't.
cast you can't cast spells while being.
No, I
No,
said
I know I
beforehand.
didn't.
She did
In
know
a lot
she
of
did
levels,
not
you
cast
can.
it.
Well, isn't it like a concentration spell too?
For
It
for
is.
circle of moon, right?
Cast
I mean, it doesn't
Yeah, and then
matter
you go in and then you're
what
fine, yeah.
circle you are. It's concentration, no matter what the spell is.
Yeah, I was saying before. I didn't
Or-
realize
I'm
that
not
that
sorry,
didn't
not what the
happen
spell
before
is.
she
No,
transformed.
I didn't. Okay. Cool. So I get my stealth bonus.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 18.
18. Okay, it's not bad. You do get spotted once by one guard. That's like, what are you doing? Give it up! Give it up! Give it up! I want it. Whatever it is probably fucking money. Give it to me. Like, they don't know. It looks like a very nice piece of parchment, too, that you just chewed a hole through. And so you get chased down by this guard. And he's like
I
running
kinda
with this
duck
piece of
in
paper.
between like stuff.
Sure, you duck into a cell, and he's like, "Damn it!" And you run past one guy that's like, "Spare change? Oh my goodness! Hello, friend.
Spare change in the prison?
Can I teach you how to do the dances that I learned as a child?"
He got me drunk.
I just keep scampering.
Oh, go ahead, leave me, just like everyone else.
Whoa.
No, what the fuck? You just leave the dude, and you end up eventually finding your way back to the sewage opening that leads you back to the party as this swan dive rat holding a note in its mouth comes airborne out of the opening. Who catches it?
Who'd you jump towards?
I don't know. I couldn't see.
You could also
I could.
out of your rat form as you're diving. You could turn out if you wanted.
Okay,
Or I could
previous druid, shut up.
I was actually going to do that, but I was actually planning on like mid jump.
Oh, sure, you can absolutely just like.
Cool.
So then you just half elf drow ancestry shop Sofka there with a note in your mouth.
Here, you guys.
What is this?
It was on his armor.
Cole pulls it out and he reads the.
Yeah, the resident archivist.
Trisheni? You gotta read it to us, I guess.
Your prize, missing something. Mine.
Oh, sorry about that.
We need missing something. Meat. MEET, guys. Meat.
Oh, well, thank you for that clarification. I mean, it happens.
Congratulations on missing something promotion. Signed, EA.
Do you want to verify the handwriting?
Sure. I think we have a good sense of who this might be, given EA.
Hand it over to-
I mean, you look at it immediately, you recognize the handwriting.
Oh yeah, this is totally him.
Okay. Just, always good to double check.
Yeah, no, it's a really good point. Trust but verify. And I'm thinking it meant your prize is mine. We need to meet. Congrats on your promotion. Anybody have any other thoughts on what those missing words could have been?
Those were my thoughts.
All right, cool. And this was clearly for security. Great. So Captain's probably dead. That's wonderful. Not wonderful. I'm being sarcastic. I'm just
Do we get to do
Two
a
steps
prison
ahead.
break?
wait. What?
Do we get to do a prison break?
Who?
I start rubbing my
Break
hands
who out
together.
of prison? There's nobody here except for crazy people.
There's
Yeah,
the old guy who has everyone who left him.
Everybody else leaves me.
Well, I mean, there was a guy that got killed. in the
Granted,
prison.
I would set him free too. TJ
I was
would
thinking
absolutely set
about
him
it.
free.
We could at least try and get Eleazar's armor back. If nothing else, maybe we can find more of the information.
How far can you do your mind thing?
Once I'm connected with somebody, which I have to be able to see them to connect, 5 miles.
Well, because I have been able to just directionally mine out and just so I'm just going to start like, Eleazar.
You hit the wrong person, though.
Well, before, but I'm trying it now.
Okay, you do it a couple times. Oh, good, another brain companion. How are you? How's the weather?
Your message did not receive its intended recipient.
Oh, oh, bollocks! Terrible service down here. Do you keep doing it?
Yeah, I'm just going to keep doing it just until.
You could ask if anybody's seen a
Eventually
large silver
you-
kobold.
That's true.
Eventually, you hear. Somebody humming the song, apparently completely gone crazy down here.
Is the unseen servant still with us?
Did he harmonize with me?
He died in the explosion.
Okay.
I can bring him back.
I mean, could he go around looking or no? Do we think that might have
Wait.
some triggers for traps, though?
Oh no, but that's part of what he does is trigger traps, so that we don't.
Right, but I don't want anybody knowing that we're here either. Which
What?
is why.
What was Eleazar's armor doing by itself in a cell?
It wasn't in a cell, was it?
It was in a cell.
Not in a storage room or property storage of any kind. Just
Whoa. Maybe he was
By
there
itself.
and then the dude took him.
Well, I mean, with your prize as mine, that means, Eleazar was his prize and now it's Emerson's.
Unless, no. Maybe he wasn't necessarily your prize. Maybe you were his prize. Right?
maybe the promotion was his prize.
Maybe Infantry 9 was his prize.
Maybe everything was his prize. Absolutely anything in the world.
Well, I mean, Warforged, he could have another Warforged that he could potentially use them too. Gonna
Yes,
bring this up. If his
Squirm.
armor was in a trap, was in a cell, could this be just a trap to lure us in?
Could
Very likely.
Yeah. Knowing that we'd go after our compatriots and that this is, exactly how we might go about it.
He seems to know a lot about this.
Oh.
Doesn't know that I can turn into a rat.
So how far was it from where you dropped down from to where you found it?
Always.
It was
It was within 60 feet.
No.
Have you heard back from any of your other friends? You seem to where you were chirping at them for a bit. I'm assuming you were talking to them of some
Have
sort.
they seen anything?
When they come back, some of them carrying half-eaten pieces of sausages, one carrying a half-moldy pieces of cheese, and the other one carrying a dismembered big toe,
Nice.
fresh.
Does
That's
it look like a
nice.
lizard toe?
It looks like a Kenran toe.
That's not cool.
Well, unless they went into the catacombs. Well, that was pre-Kenyan.
It
Yeah.
looks fresh.
That's
I
not
try
cool.
and glance through the grate and see if I can see anybody out there.
The way the grate is that it looks directly down the corridor, so the perspective of being able to see... Oh, you're looking just to see if there's a guard walking down the corridor?
Or just anybody that I can
Does
see.
this corridor look familiar?
I mean, they all look the same, dude. I
Is
mean,
there
they're-
any charm marks?
It's very...
Wait,
Is there any electric charm marks?
Hold on. You're very familiar with how Dwarven architecture works.
Yes.
And that is extremely austere. Everything looks the same because they don't want to give away what's inside because they like to hold their treasures in them and whatnot. So that kind of architectural design carries over even to their most,
Mundane.
presumable prison
It's what
architecture.
you built.
So all the corridors look almost exactly the same. You're looking for electrocution scorch marks? Fucking hell. Go ahead, roll a perception check. Fuck, sure, why not?
What?
So
I'm the one who's trying to speak. See,
Yeah,
you're there. Can I
right.
see?
So you're right. You're also trying to look again. The being able to see into the you can only see an inch or two into each of these cells just because of the perspective. It's like looking down a long corridor, and each of them have cells. The longer you get down it, you just can't see into the cells anymore.
21.
That's fine. I'm just trying to see if there's somebody I can see.
Right. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
21.
21. This does not look like a familiar corridor.
You didn't pee when you were you didn't piss on the walls at all. Like you were marking them as you went before.
No, he teleported and then teleported and realized that he was
15.
stuck.
At the moment, there doesn't appear to be anybody at the moment. Meaning that at this
I didn't think
specific
enough
moment.
of it.
Hold on. At this specific moment, there doesn't appear to be anybody patrolling this specific corridor.
Shit. Oh, shit. And then I kind of ducked my head back out of sight.
Sure.
Fuck. If I could see, I'm just trying to see if there's anybody, even remotely, that we could spot in there. Partially, Cole doesn't understand how his power works yet either.
Based on what I read in the note, he took him. It looks like Security 4 took him first. Emrys took Eleazar and gave him his armor. That's how I read the note.
Yeah, I read it as the stone swarm still locked him up or locked up the armor, right, where he was. He delivered the note and yeah.
To me, like he left it there saying, "Yeah, no, I took your prize. I took Eleazar."
That might have been how he was going to convince you to do something.
Because I said I wouldn't leave my friends, so...
Okay, I'm going to reach out again to that crazy guy.
Oh, welcome back.
Have you seen a giant kobold?
Oh. Well, I don't know if you've seen the first panel of my webcomic, but, I've been drawing these kobold,
Okay, he
panels
hasn't
on
seen them. I just
myself
cut
for
it
a
off.
long time. I had one have a very traumatic backstory. And then it ends.
He hasn't seen him.
I'm actually picturing a spider web that has like pieces of paper like portioned into it with drawings on it.
He's totally using his poop to draw on the fucking wall.
Drawings are behind the wall, spider web.
Either way, we still have not found Eleazar, right? So we know he's somewhere around here, or
All we know is his armor is here.
his armor's here. Yes,
And based on the note, to me, it sounds like
Emrys.
Emrys has taken him.
Shit, but if they...
What if you did sending to Pernua and ask her if she's with Eleazar? And cough if she is.
Don't think this is necessarily the idea that's going to get us to where we go, but
It's more information than
Yeah,
we
and
have.
then I'm gonna basically be out of spells for the day. It'll be fun. Great battle times.
Right.
sounds like normal battle time.
It's okay. The cleric doesn't need any spells.
I've got one more dose of arcane. You can have it.
I told you, Log, you need to have the red stuff or it's not going to happen.
You can do hard drugs, but only if it's the hard drugs I accept.
I totally feel like that's on brand.
CrestVahllen DD does in no way promote the use of hard drugs.
Only the
really
red
don't.
stuff.
We really don't.
Only the red.
Only the red pill, and only if you're in the Matrix.
Or CrestVahllen.
Jesus. That's making me in so much legal trouble.
We'll edit out anything that's legally binding. We're fine.
I doubt it.
So what do we do from here now? Yes? I mean,
If Emrys has him, there's nothing else we can do here now.
agreed. Because Emrys probably fled. Would I have recognized what spell that was when he was trying to, that last one that he cast?
Oh,
Dimension door.
right. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
Well, I know it was Dimension Door, but I don't like...
Yeah,
Those
but
are the counter spell.
Yeah, then he casts it again. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't remember.
15.
Yeah, exactly.
You had to. 15. You understand the mechanics of the spell. You don't know the name of the spell. You understand the mechanics of the spell and exactly what it does, because not only did you counterspell it, but you saw it done twice. You're like, shit, that's a teleportation spell where you can bring somebody with you. I want to know that spell.
Right.
You also realize
Yep.
that it's just out of your reach.
Shit, well, I think... Okay, he kind of bent space so that he could go from one spot to another easily.
Oh shit, I can do that.
Well, I mean, anybody can do that. But, like,
The glimpse of what you saw through there was not anything you could see within your sight.
yeah.
So
But
it was much farther away.
But he could do it further, and, like, he could actually bring somebody else. It wasn't just, like, one person that he could do. So I don't know how much further, but he's at least... So, sorry, I know that's kind of just rambling and confirming what we already knew, that he got out of there, but I don't know how far, at least. So he's gone. He made it out all right. We knew that. But just we don't know exactly where he is or how far he could have gone. Clearly with this note, maybe he had it planted before or after.
Well, it sounds like he had a plan to take Eleazar before or during the zombie riot.
Right, like especially if he had some of the Stone Swarm or somebody who still had their mind to take him. Right, it was.
Well, it doesn't necessarily. It seems like Security 4 did it, or the Stone Swarm.
Right.
Does anyone remember how Security 4 reacted when Eleazar took off his helmet and revealed himself as a...
It wasn't there.
He wasn't surprised, even though. But Eleazar did it in not like a cool fashion.
He rolled like so well to be like, yeah. The role play was beautiful as he like sticks his fingers in there and like, I am Eleazar. It was like super cool the way Demetrius did it, but he rolled something like a 2 to be like
It was
cool
terrible.
about it.
It
So he
was
poked
awful.
himself in the eyes with his claws and he was like, oh shit, and he dropped his helmet and he tried to play it off as something cool.
Yeah, but it seemed like, if I'm remembering correctly, it seemed like he wasn't phased. But you know Security 4, he doesn't seem to be phased by anything. Anyway.
He might have had a bigger interest than he let on in Eleazar, for who he is.
We do know that he is pretty deceptive anyway, given that he was able to just be like, oh yeah, you're cool, even though I know you're not cool. That kind of thing. Right? So, hard to read. I'm sorry, what?
No, never mind.
Oh, okay.
We also
TG
don't
was
know
making faces again.
Can't help it, I'm excited.
I started going meta. That's why I was like, nope, shut
I
up.
know.
Cole knows none of this shit because he was passed out drunk.
So, you have the note. You've removed it from said armor. You know the armor is empty and in a cell. And you are in the sewers before the prison.
This armor isn't special.
Those of you with high passive perception, Cole and Argus, you begin to hear.
Oh god.
Not as high as they have. They have like 19 each.
18?
Yeah, I think you're just.
You have 18. Oh, yeah, you're just under. So they hear it a couple seconds before you do. Just the sound of heavily armored footsteps moving toward, not necessarily toward your location, but throughout and just getting closer.
Do we hear him in the where we're at, or coming from?
Not within the sewers. They're coming from the prison. Probably a patrol.
Do we want to try and keep silent and see if we can hear anything?
Okay, you keep silent. See if you can hear anything. Everybody roll a perception check for me, please. Zemdak?
8.
Sofka?
17.
17?
I rolled my passive. Perception's of 19.
You mean you rolled it, or is you just...
No, I rolled a 10, and I'm plus 9. So.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay.
20.
16?
1.
Oh, Lord.
That song is just still going in my head. I'm just...
You heard it again.
Never ends, does
Literally,
it?
the song that never ends. So you gotta keep going.
Cole and Argus, you hear, damn it, not another one. Alright, it's your time to do it, not me. I did on the last one. Fine, give me a spare. And you just hear,
That was not something funny for the listeners.
No.
Sorry, guys, we were.
You have a
There's a dog
here.
she's getting very close to our faces and sniffing us very cautiously, and she's very cute.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Aria.
So it sounds like they have basically started
Sounds like they
imprisoning people
just-
who were zombies, and people are turning. So now they're stabbing prison zombies.
All right, clean up.
Looking through, can I see one of them now?
It seems to be heard from around the corner.
Okay, no worries. Do we want to just get out of here then?
I don't think there's much here that we can... Is there anything you think we can glean or learn from here?
don't think so necessarily. I mean, if the note said that he had his prize, it either meant Eleazar. I don't think it was him, but maybe it's like a consolation prize. It did to make
Where
him
else
just
did he have the armor?
right.
It said, "I have your prize," right? I have your prize. We need to meet.
Right, which is why. But like the armor's here, but that's not Eleazar. Isn't necessarily right. So
We
Emrys
don't know
might.
if it's necessarily your.
we don't.
Emrys doesn't necessarily need to sleep either. So while we were sleeping, he could have done additional things in the city.
What is
Your
it?
prize. Your prize, mine. He's an elf. He
He's
can
an elf.
meditate.
Oh, right, yeah, right.
He's also undead, isn't he?
No.
not as far
No,
as
he's
know.
just a necromancer. That's right.
Right.
Or I would be turning undead, and it would have been a lot of fun.
Still needs to trance to regain his spell slots.
Right, but it's still only 4 hours. He's
right.
at least 4 hours ahead of us, no matter where he is, because
It's
of that.
your prize.
Man, it sucks to have somebody that's always ahead of you and doesn't have to rest as long, doesn't it?
So
Almost
he
makes
could
you
have done
wish you
this
guys were
after-
elves, doesn't it?
Yeah, screw the elves.
Hey.
Sorry, Adam, go ahead.
He could have done this after our battle. So
Yeah.
the prize could be the information
Mm-hmm.
he gleaned from Infantry 9. It could not even be Eleazar at all.
He could have
Then
also
why would you have
grabbed
the armor?
Eleazar before he started the zombie thing.
I guess either way, he has Eleazar.
More than likely.
Because why else would he have his armor to give?
Yeah.
Good point.
Which, if he was pretending as much as he said, maybe he is about to use him as an experiment.
I mean, it's a good experiment to have someone who's immune to turning.
Yeah.
That's
So our best guess, Eleazar is gone. Emrys has him.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So we.
So there's no reason to be in the prison. Where are we going? We don't know where Emrys goes.
We know.
We didn't get the information that he got out of Infantry 9, so we don't know his next step.
No.
We
So-
don't. However, we are right here. We are very close to security force entire library. We could try to do something crazy and try to get whatever information that he has. I do remember.
love how your crazy little mind works.
We could go try to build a key and try to get security force brain.
I do like this idea.
Wow.
I don't know that we should stay in the city.
I agree with that. I think we should bounce.
And I don't know about any of the rest of you, but if he knows us and we are now his enemies, I am a bit worried about my family. We had originally discussed going up the Triway to Thulm Morbed anyways.
Yeah.
Would you all be comfortable with doing that? Perhaps I can warn them.
I'd be okay with that. I could potentially check to see about my family too, because we occasionally get
Hopefully.
force coming north through there.
We could stop at my hometown too to inform my family.
Right, yours is the closest.
Correct.
I'm
Well, where you transplanted your.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not where they're originally.
Yeah.
But
Where they currently
we're-
are, yeah.
I mean,
We're the ones I care about, right?
I'm fine with that too.
And hopefully we get them there. We get there before he does.
Right. I mean, but the fact that he had magic to access
can
teleportation circles, like, he might be able to get there so much faster. So whatever we can do
He's-
to
He's already been to Thulm Morbed.
to get to talk
He
to
could
him.
probably teleport there.
Sofka, you know intimately that he has.
That was in Thulmo. Oh. Interesting.
Fuck you for so many months in advance of thinking of all this stuff.
Well, so yeah. So
Zofka, when you saw him,
Did I... Wait.
that's the same guy.
It's the same voice?
The same voice, the same robes that I saw meeting with that individual
Okay.
in Thulmore Bed.
have you seen any teleportation stones here?
Yes. Yes. Layers upon layers. Plans within plans. Fucking Dune. Yes.
Have you seen anything that's like a stone circle besides the one that we saw last night with runes on it that looks like a teleportation stone?
Have I seen those throughout? like,
You
underground?
specifically have never had actually any intimate interaction with a teleportation circle per se. Like you don't know what actually you don't even know what a teleportation circle is. But your first interaction with any type of magical circle, other than like the runic ones that were done in nature rituals by your mentors, was the one that you just experienced
Okay.
yesterday.
I've never seen anything like that.
I mean, he knows how to draw like a circle and actually, well, not necessarily draw,
Granted-
carve, but he does stuff. He's able to transport.
Granted, Argus and Zemdek, both being, previous residents of Thulmore Bed, have a strong feeling that being such a hub, probably there's a teleportation circle there somewhere. Where it is, you don't know. But
Like public transit type.
Yeah.
maybe not public.
Or, yeah, no, but
Well,
like,
like guilds, like being a part
yeah,
of one of the guilds.
accessible
and-
if you have enough coin
yeah.
or the right connections.
Mm-hmm.
I did see this guy. He was talking about a plan, the host, or
Yeah.
he said that he had a plan and he was wearing a red cloak. He had something to do with the red dudes that killed my mentors.
The Red Lions.
Yeah,
The red lines
the
indicate,
red
yeah.
lions. I think, unless it was someone else wearing a red cloak.
I mean, can't
It's a good-
judge, but yeah, it's good. Like,
It's a good assumption.
yeah.
And then he killed the guy he was talking to. He like incinerated him. It was I couldn't see his.
Disintegrated him.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah?
And I couldn't see his face, but when I heard his voice last night, I knew it was him.
Oh, where? I'm sorry. Where did you say that you saw him?
Thulmore Bed.
In Thulmore Bed. How long ago was that?
Like 2 years?
Couple years.
Couple years ago.
Time is weird for you
Yeah,
because you don't really see the sun very often.
it was a while ago.
Okay.
Meaning that whatever this is, or whatever the plan that was, has been in progress for a long time.
Right. It's not just something that's happened over the last month, necessarily.
But we kind of already knew that with the the good berry juice and everything like that, because that went disappearing for a long time too.
Couple of years, yeah.
Yeah.
3 years. Yep.
Mhm.
Gizmo, are you going to be okay going back to the Thulmore Bed? I mean, I heard what your master yelled as he was leaving.
Yo, fucking Zach did such a great job.
Oh, he
I
did.
have
That
to
was
give
awesome.
a shout out.
He did.
Shout out to
So
Zach.
good.
He did such an amazing job as Master Rose. Thank you for being such an amazing guest star. He like did this cool fucking plankton voice with like Master. Don't come back to Thulmore Bed. It was so. Oh my god. Oh my god. You have a special place in my heart.
Great job, Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to go back as me.
You said before that you wanted to be called Boots Garnet Flake. Is that
Yes.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Wait,
I
what?
made up an alias.
I have it written down right here.
I made up an alias like a couple of days ago, or in game a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a couple. Yeah, exactly. It was a couple days ago.
That does sound familiar.
All right. So should we just start calling you Boots for like,
Jesus.
so it gets ingrained in us, so we don't accidentally call you Zemdak instead?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Boots.
Oh my god. I love this. It's
Gizmo
the best
Boots,
game in
I'm
the
not gonna-
world.
I'm not going to keep this all straight.
Wait, what is he wearing? His footwear.
Sure, pick up
no,
one of
his
my
footwear.
feet.
Oh, boots.
There you go.
Well, so am I. I'm wearing boots too.
Okay, boots too.
D&D is the best game in the world. Fight me.
Log, if you want to come up with your own nickname for me, please do.
Okay, Shorty.
Perfect. Just don't call me Gizmo
Not
or
Gizmo.
Zendak.
No Gizmo, no Zendak. Okay.
Just when I was like starting to get used to Gizmo, too. Now I have to call him Boots.
I'll answer to hey you.
Yeah,
I'll answer.
I
to
guess
you.
I can call him whatever I
Yeah,
want. Yeah,
as long as it's not a
as long as I'm not an
character.
NPC. Yeah.
Do you need to change the way that you look at all there too? I mean,
I think I can do that through magic.
okay.
I've seen you guys do it enough. I can make something that does that.
We can go find Flixen's ears.
You guys head back to the pit of pain and start robbing corpses for ears, prosthetic ears.
Yeah.
I figure
the
she's
costume
got to have
ears
like
off the-
extras in her room. Log knows where
Yeah.
that is and how it
That's
looks.
how it works.
You guys want to go looting?
I say we get out
You
of
don't
here.
think it didn't cross our minds, but
I knew it crossed my mind. Guys, I have prepared that possibility.
I mean, there's some cool stuff just
There's
hanging
things
out.
under my keyboard that I have prepared for that possibility.
We could potentially get the money back that we spent on the cloak.
That or like the extra
we could
cool
get the
cash.
beard growing thing and then really give Zemdak an extra look there.
Oh man,
Oh wow!
I can't imagine you with a beard. I'd like start putting up my hands to try
Oh
to like.
no!
It just
Wait,
maybe it'll work.
wait.
Maybe it could work. Yeah.
If we put it on Conk, will Conk grow a beard?
Yes.
Oh, I would love to see Conk with a beard.
No.
Little like metallic whisker,
Yes.
like what is the scrubby stuff, right?
We don't have the item yet, TJ.
Yeah, but I do. I must know.
Like,
This is
what's,
also Cole channeling like what he and Log do sometimes, which is come up with the worst possible
So
ideas.
we're having this conversation outside the prison
Yeah. You
about
guys are
robbing the town.
sitting in the sewers outside the prison.
You know what? You're very wise. Let's move.
Just saying.
Yeah. Let's move a little bit.
If Cole can though, he's gonna project the image of Conk with like whiskers into Gizmo's mind.
You know, like those the kitchen scrubbies that are made out of like stainless steel.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Just imagine that like sprouting out of his chin in
That's-
full glorious dwarven fashion.
Yeah, like the air conditioning wires that just come out and they're all like those prickly
Steel wool.
Steel wool. Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
that's,
Yes.
yep.
It's taking me a while to find the name.
Yes. My God, can you imagine?
You're really funny.
Beard boy, cock, attack him. Okay, we have to move on.
TJ got a new model to make on your 3D printer.
Cock with a beard. I'll do it, bitch. I'll do it. Oh my God. Okay, so where are you guys going?
Are
in
we
the
robbing the
sewers.
town, or are we trying to go out the?
Yeah, we tried to
cave?
sneak into not necessarily the triway, but
The caves that. you
yeah,
know.
the caves that.
Are we
Stuff in those
leaving
are
all
we-
these magical items that we know about here in town?
Well, I mean,
That's
if
what I'm
Milladonna's
saying.
had a way into the sewers, maybe Flixen's does too.
Flixen should, if she's been getting all these items in from the places.
So theoretically, we could get into her shop.
So why don't we
Yeah.
just check it out on the way out and see if we can find a way in?
All right. Do we also want to like check that Milladonna's okay?
Yes, I would
Yes.
like to check if Melodon is
I,
okay.
I could use some more arcane.
Okay.
Maybe,
I mean,
maybe you
CrestVahllen
can get
DD does not support the use of hard drugs.
maybe you can get some red arcane for Argus.
I mean, that would help.
I just want some more papering and ink, guys. You know, that's all that I want in life. Like paper and ink.
We have some new spells you gotta learn.
I know. I feel I still have some scrolls I have to do.
Wait,
It's,
I know.
I need to buy some
It's
incense
insane.
now.
What? Sorry.
Something familiar.
Yeah,
He
I need to buy incense now.
wants to make
Oh,
it familiar.
yeah, shit. Yeah. I have some.
I have a little bit. Actually, that would be all of my incense because I spent 10 gold on incense.
You did.
Why did you spend 10 gold on incense?
Because I was buying it for one of my spells. Which the host counter spelled last time.
Right
at the beginning.
pattern.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like no, no, sir.
I keep trying to do
How
that. Gigi's always
rude
like,
of you.
no,
Does
no,
that-
you can't just
I
do
am
that.
not doing it.
It doesn't use your components.
The characters are doing it.
It just does
I'm just
whatever
curious
it's
if
in,
you removed your components. If you
Well, the
Because it
rules
doesn't-
I
didn't.
believe so, yeah. Because you
The
still
material
cast it.
component is consumed for that spell.
But for that spell, it doesn't say cost
Consumes.
10 gold.
No, I
no,
just
for that
I
spell
literally
you just
need
need
it.
it. Yes, there. Like just like you
Yeah.
need like a diamond worth 50 gold in order to cast chromatic sphere or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I'm a
consume
cleric. I
it,
don't.
you just have to
I
have
just need a holy
Yeah.
symbol.
Unless
My
you
God.
unless you have materials
Yeah.
that cost a gold value.
Correct.
But if
Which
I'm holding
they
an
do.
instrument, I don't have to pay that material cost either.
Wait, do I have to do anything?
There's a few
Yeah.
spells that you would, but
I assume you've just been using your soul forge hammer as your holy symbol.
I have both. Holy
That's true.
symbols. They're my holy symbols.
Whichever you like.
Does your
So-
whip and
Okay,
your hair in?
so
No,
where are you guys going?
it's still a mode of
do you want to
fire.
go Miladons or Afflictions? Are we
Yes.
going to be good do-gooders or
We can do
I don't
both.
understand why we aren't doing both.
Yeah, we-
I mean, I want to do
We
both.
could, yeah, we could go and take some of these things and possibly trade them for credit with Meladonas.
I agree. And or we keep some of those things because they're still really cool.
I don't know about trading Melodonna with stolen goods from the same town she's in,
Yeah, that seems like.
or he's in.
Yeah.
He didn't. They didn't care about. I mean,
They just wanted to
we
sell
gave
them.
I
them.
thought-
We gave them
They
some
were
of the
they were willing to
artifacts.
take it if we had brought
They
it
did.
back the first time
Well,
and
yeah,
we told
that's
them where
why
to
we
go
put it in
find.
the.
That's why we buried it in that house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't think they would mind. That's a good idea. We should go to Flixen's first.
Yeah.
All right. We still
Keep
be.
some stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Um,
good.
all right. We should still
Have
be.
you not? You haven't
Potentially
met
get
us
our
yet.
gold back too, you know.
So,
We should still be
where are
sneaky.
you going?
We're going to
Flixen's.
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 So
Underground.
you are trusting Sofka to find you some sort of underground passage that would lead you out to Flixen's.
Absolutely.
Up into
Okay,
Flixen's.
sure. Okay. That's a bit of a stretch, but sure.
The sewers.
Go
directly
ahead,
beneath
roll
her shop.
a because you've been there. Actually, you have been. You've been inside.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a survival check with me for me again. It's not at advantage. It's just that it has a different AC.
Sofka, I know you can find us the way there.
I got a nat one.
Ooh,
But
I do
just-
get an inspiration though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
if you want to use it.
And you can always cast guidance on yourself
Also,
before something that you
That
do,
one's
like a
not
check
necessarily
like that.
matter on skills.
Yeah, you love it when we remember to
the
do
previous druid over here is reminding you
You
that
got a
you
one,
cast
but
guidance
what-
before you
which-
cast spells on yourself.
Well,
But
If you
that's
do,
okay.
like, checks and things,
Go if you'd like to.
When
You
you
can
remember.
use your
You're like,
inspiration D8 on this.
okay.
And remember, you still get to add your survival skill
Right.
to it. So even though it's a nat 1,
Okay, so
I
that
can never go a day
is
without using all my
a
total of
10.
10.
It was rough.
It's rough. The best you can get is a manhole cover in the Demir district. That's a couple blocks away.
that's not bad.
Sorry, guys.
You know what? That's not bad though. Like we're,
We're close.
Do we recognize the alley that we come out in?
Sewer maintenance.
Sewer maintenance.
Sewer maintenance. You do recognize the alley you come out of. However, you do pass through a latrine hole. And could everybody please roll a d6 for me?
Oh gosh,
It is a guard
D6.
post latrine hole.
that's the number I got on my D6.
Wait, was it a manhole
So nice.
or a latrine?
No. You're as you're going through on your way to
Sewers.
the manhole.
Gotcha.
You pass through.
This is a roll to see if we got pooped on.
yep.
Wow, way to spoil my surprise. Zemdab,
Wasn't
what'd you
much of a
get?
surprise.
Zemdab, what'd you get?
4.
Well, you gotta say it out loud.
6.
5.
1.
2.
Okay, Trisheni and Log, you are talking to each other about the spells that are in your new
You know,
book.
your book is super cool. I think if you do
I didn't even know it was a mimic until like now.
well, it's a mimic. It's
Would Log
attached
know?
to you.
And as you're
Log
getting
know?
closer to it, it's like trying to undo its binding, and like it's going for your book.
I put my book like on the opposite side.
Yeah.
I draw the sword. I'm like, yeah, no, it's super cool. And look at it incredulously, like.
And then while you guys are enraptured in this conversation, a whole just deluge of a whole chamber pot gets dumped upon your heads.
Cool. You know what?
Ooh.
At least I don't smell this.
I shake off like a dog.
Oh no! Everybody, please roll dexterity saving throw as he shakes up like a dog.
Well, if you're gonna.
That's
do
a
it.
nat 20.
Yay! Sofka's like, I've been here before. Fuck that.
16.
You're okay.
23.
23. Zemdak.
18.
18. All of you guys do dive out of the way enough to not get hit by the spray of fresh sewage that is the coat of log.
I'll wait till everybody's out, and then I'll do the exact same thing when nobody's looking.
You're a dog.
Because I'm a dog.
Fantastic.
Cole,
Yep.
Cole can smell them though, and he's gonna look back and not realizing it, cast prestidigitation on Trishani to clear her off.
What's the distance? What's the range of prestidigitation? I thought it was
I
only
have it
like
right
10
here.
feet.
I mean, at some point, I'll probably
Yeah,
walk
I'm
up.
saying at some point when
Sure,
it's back to
sure,
us,
sure.
I can smell it, and
Sure, you can
it
eventually.
is 10 feet though.
Yeah. The odor becomes so offensive that you're just like, oh god, just be clean. You do. Do you do it to both of them?
I can only do one at a time, but yeah, I could do it.
Yeah, it takes you to 6 seconds each one,
Yeah.
but yeah, you can absolutely do it to both.
Oh, thank you. I'm not this dirty.
You guys all get cleaned up.
Eventually I can
Sofka,
figure
you
this out.
see with the wave of somebody's hand a humanoid, a person, a creature like you become clean, washed, smell fresh, done.
You can do that.
I didn't know I could until now, but apparently
And clean stuff off.
couldn't before this morning.
That's oh.
You kind of just like willed, like, oh, please stop smelling, and they
Yeah.
just stopped smelling.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
became clean. Their clothes and armor freshly laundered. Their fur, like, you ever see the pictures of shampooed cows? That's kind of like what both of you guys look like right now.
I mean, I don't hate this look, but, like, how did you do that?
The shampooed and blow dried cows. The one
I
that-
don't know. You guys really smell.
Oh, we did? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
I needed it. I just really wanted it to stop. I don't. That's
Sofka,
something
you're like,
new.
holy crap.
Are you...
You can be clean? You could
Can
just do that?
Can you do that to me sometime? Not necessarily right now.
I guess I don't.
I have taken one bath in my life.
And how?
I also have soap in a bucket. I mean,
Wait, and he has to create water.
Zendek just pulls a fucking bucket out of his bag of holding, puts it down, holds the soap,
bar
and I'm
of
like,
soap.
come on, here we go.
I mean,
Have
maybe
soap
in
in
the
it.
sewer is not the best place for a bath.
I'm just saying, like, not necessarily right now.
I mean, I think so. I know I couldn't do this last night. This is brand new.
I look into
His
his
are
eyes,
still,
still
that
red.
crimson.
Okay.
Did you drink your coffee?
Yes.
I mean, you look hungover as hell, or like you smoked something, but you didn't. Your eyes, they're...
He does have that kind of like crackhead look to him. A
Yeah.
little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
CrestVahllen DD is not for the use of hard drug.
but your sclera are red. You know that, right?
They are.
They're very red, yes.
You look like this, and I'll look like how you look right now.
I mean, in the dream, like the tentacles came out through my eyes and whatnot. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Yep. That makes sense. That checks out. Okay.
I'm gonna grab Cole's face again and do another medicine check.
Okay.
Come here.
I roll a 3. So 7.
I mean, he's just. I mean, that's just who Cole is.
I was
He's
like,
just kinda
it
fucking
looks
weird.
the same. I push his face back again.
He's a human. Who fucking knows what's up with them? Dwarves is superior. in every way.
It's just basically a copy of the last time.
He just palm his face, shove it away from you. You're fine.
Oh, thanks, Agus. I definitely needed that. Thank you.
You know, it doesn't hurt to double check.
Does anybody have a mirror?
I can hold up my shield.
Actually, I might. Oh god.
Oh no! Did you rip something? No!
I did. My precious notebook.
Oh no!
Just my notes. It's okay.
Tersheni opens her book and tears a page out.
My book gets really excited.
Yes, your book gets extremely excited.
I'm like, no.
Do you still have your book out, or
Well, I mean, I probably would have
it's
shaped
like
it off.
kind of
and
reluctant to go back in too?
shove it in.
You shove it in.
If you just look closely at my armor, I keep it pretty clean.
Right.
I'll just look like you and stand on the other side. I mean, like,
Yeah, I thought I had a mirror in my monster pack, but I don't. So yeah, look at his armor. It's very shiny.
I take a look
Look at
at
mirror.
I take a look at his shield and I'm like, can I do a medicine check on my eyes if I'm looking in the mirror?
His shield is not
The backside?
not rough. No, your shield is red. It's not fucking. It's not. It doesn't have a mirror finish. It's not chrome. Get the
I
fuck
know.
out of
What
here.
about Eleazar's shield?
I know a little bit more about.
It's got a
medicine.
fucking skull.
well,
on it.
Zendak has a bucket. You create water in the bucket, then he can look in the water.
Oh my god.
Or I
I'm
could
not
just-
wasting a level spell for create water.
No.
I can
Yeah,
do a
Lofar
medicine
didn't
check.
have mirrors, so I don't have one either.
Right.
I know
You-
a little bit more about humans, maybe. And then I like shrink back.
No,
I'm
you
not,
more
I'm not
go.
trained in medicine. It's
Oh
just
wait,
fun.
here's a question: would there be one in a disguise kit?
Yes, there would be. There'd be
I
a
have a disguise
compact.
kit. Yeah.
There would be a compact and a disguise kit. That's correct. Yeah.
So I do have a disguise kit. So I pull out my
Yeah. You look at yourself. That's Cole, but that's
That's
not the Cole you grew up with.
They weren't. This is new. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I mean,
You've been doing a lot of new things lately.
right. Every day is new.
Cole, roll a
Every day's
perception
always
check
new.
for me.
Today you've been doing some new
You
things.
can roll this at advantage because of your high passive perception.
It's 24.
You notice what you felt before of the extrusions coming out of your sclera.
I think it's linked to the fetish. Can you see them? Like I can see those things coming out of my sclera.
Like what
You point
type
them
of
out to your
things?
friends?
Yeah, I point out what I'm seeing.
What looks like small tentacles or worms appear to like be piercing and coming out of the sclera and then suck themselves back in.
It's fucking weird.
Says Lon!
Thank you for taking the words out of my mouth.
Is-
Because literally, I was gonna go.
Is this
Really, Log?
anything that I've heard about in any religion?
Any religion?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll. Very good question. Go ahead and roll a religion check.
No.
Goodness, is she just walking across
Yeah,
us?
yeah.
Goodness
I
gracious.
got an 8. I rolled a 4.
A 4?
So
Eight?
8.
Eight? Nothing that comes to mind presently. You might have to think on this a little bit more. You're a little distracted because you are on your way to Flixen's Discount Fixins, to the manhole. Some of your companions have been covered in shit. They've just been cleaned by Cole's powers, and now kind of all the focus is on Cole. So a lot is going on right now. Go ahead.
I didn't have anything else than that. But yes, boots.
I think I have a plan. Log, can you do your disguise magic one more time?
I polysure myself.
I don't want to like go sort of like feel around him.
Did you
See
get
if
rid
I
of that
can like.
invocation?
No, I got rid of the mage armor.
Okay.
Sorry, Gizmo, what was it?
I want to put on my my goggles that I use to cast some of my spells, and I want to kind of go over there and like feel him and see like how far away the illusion sits from him and like what I can tell.
Oh, I understand. You want to cast detect magic on Log's disguised self.
Yes.
And you want to see like how far the illusion is
Right.
from the surface of his body.
Yes.
It's pretty tight. If a centimeter.
Okay.
Just because of the way. I mean, you're making it at your height, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So if a disguised self is made at the height of the user, it's pretty fucking tight.
Okay.
So yeah, it's about like a centimeter off of your body. Granted, with disguised self, you can increase or decrease your height by a foot, but you're choosing not to, and therefore it is pretty skin tight. Granted, if it was a foot shorter, there would be like an empty space where people would think there was nothing, where somebody could smack you in the head.
Can you make yourself really fat?
You can make yourself. You can increase your diameter by a foot. Yep.
So I'll do a fat polyshore.
You can do that. Yeah.
Same thing. There's sort of like a balloon around him then.
Yeah. Now it's a far greater diameter of illusion compared to his actual physical form.
Yes, I think I can do this. I could look like Flixen.
That is possible. Yes, your height is not entirely different, and your stature, given the limitations of disguised self, could allow you to do so.
We would look less suspicious going into her own shop. Yes?
Would you need to go by yourself?
No. I mean, you can come with me. I'm opening my shop for the day.
Okay.
If she's dead, yes. She's not going to be opening her own shop today.
Hopefully she didn't lock her door before she left.
We could just open it.
Subdeck's really good at that stuff now.
he can pretend like it's a key.
It's a tool check, so now I have experience. Expertise.
If it's mechanical, Zemdeck's got it.
If it involves me using tools in any way, shape, or form. Plus, we still have nitpick. If all else fails.
Okay, so you guys
just try to look like customers, not like you're about to rob the place.
So above you is the manhole cover that would lead you out onto the street that is just a few blocks away from Flixen's Discount Fixes. What do you do?
Someone needs to see if there's anything up there, so we don't just come out in the middle of.
No, you're the high perception people.
I'll climb up and peek out.
Okay, you climb up, peek out. You look like you, right?
Yeah.
Nice and clean?
Yep.
Cool. Are you trying to be stealthy or just sewer maintenance?
Before all the rest of us come out, I'm trying to be stealthy. I'm calling sewer maintenance when we actually go out.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and roll a stealth check for me. You're just trying to do the Ninja Turtles peek out of the manhole?
Exactly.
Okay,
That's
cool.
exactly what I was thinking. We're just the eyes coming over.
Yeah.
You said stealth?
Yes.
20. Dirty 20.
20. Yeah, you feel like there's nobody standing on the manhole. You peered up. You're able to look, given the nature of the hole, pull all the way around, kind of like a quarter that's that's been spun and now trying to land flat. You can do the same thing with the manhole cover and look all the way around. What is it you're looking for specifically?
Just looking to see how many people are around, how suspicious it's going to be when we come out.
There are scant, if any, civilians about.
Okay.
Most of the humanoids or beings and creatures you see about are in stone-sworn regalia. This town, the city, just suffered a massive incursion. This is a military town. Most likely, right now,
Martial law?
it's on lockdown. You don't see many, however.
Okay.
Meaning, and you know how many people were stationed here, quite a few. Meaning to you, one of two things. One, there were a lot of losses. Or
Not
two,
quite a few. There weren't very many, right? Wasn't it declining?
No, the city is in decline. That doesn't mean that the city itself is in decline. It doesn't mean that there weren't a large, still military force stationed here.
What
what I mean by that essentially is that there's not a very high civilian population.
Right.
and there's not the economy in this specific town isn't really great. And yes, the Stone Sworn have been pretty much reduced to repairmen and masonry and masoners, masons. However, you don't see any civilians. All you see are Stone Sworn, and even that is scant. Meaning one of two things: either they suffered heavy losses all across the board, and they're spread very, very thin, or two, there's a concentration of people in different locations.
I'm gonna come down and relay that information to everybody. You know,
Sure.
I'm not seeing any civilians, only a few stones and a few stone swarms, so I don't know what's going on necessarily.
So we have to try to do this without being seen by them.
Pass without a trace.
You can do that? Yeah.
We could we send Nitpick out by himself over to the door?
I don't think he can move. Like, he's
you
not
can do
animated.
that, like, you know, have you ever like been bored as a kid and put your fork head down onto the table and tried to walk it across the table? No, that was just me? Okay. Okay. So that's fine.
I know what you're saying.
Imagine
play with
an-
little army men and try and walk them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine
Or
an
have seen-
immobile lawn gnome, like a garden gnome, walking it. Like moves onto one side and then like tilts and puts his other side down. It doesn't have like legs that it can walk on. It just has a base that it sits on. Imagine like a mini
roll
trying to move. Bop, 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 like that. So that's how it would move. Meaning its speed is like 10 feet per second. Or 10 feet per round.
So if we put him on his side and rolled him.
Oh my god.
Would he be able to
If
get
that's
back
what
up?
you want to do, you can do that. It's several blocks away.
Is it within
Also-
60 feet?
No.
It is not within 60 feet for sure.
Also, he is very loud about everything that is wrong with any of us every single time we pull him out. If we can just leave him somewhere, I'm okay with that. Cole's always been okay with that.
Instead of being Flixen, I could be a Stone Swarm.
In this dwarven town, do you not think all Stone Swarm know who's all the other Stone Swarm are?
I mean, what if I was on a supply requisition mission for headquarters?
From where?
Flixen's. We know she has weapons in there.
I'm just saying, wouldn't most Stone Sworn know who another Stone Sworn is? In a dwarven town, we kind of know who each other are.
That's not how many there are.
That's true, but the town's in decline, so there's probably less of them.
Right.
Or they're
What
gonna
I
be
meant
patrolling
when I
in-
said that town is declining, yes. The population is by no means as high as it could be, or like this, meaning like there by no means this amount of square footage could support a far greater population.
What he said
majority-
earlier is the guard force is still strong.
Right. The majority of the population are the Stones. And
so-
the others are the civilians, and the majority of the other population are only here temporarily, passing through or staying at the tavern, as they are trade caravans, either moving through the Triway or moving off somewhere else.
I'm a newer recruit. We were tasked with gathering weapons, and I conscripted you guys from the survivors to help me carry things.
Okay.
That sounds good. That works.
If we get caught. Plan A would be not get caught.
Right.
Plan B is cover story.
Plan C is Fireball.
I would say, knowing our luck, what is plan C?
Fireball.
Fireball.
Okay, what's plan D?
I help.
Second fireball.
I have two
Additional
fireballs.
fireball.
I mean, I still have some magic left for the Sky Lounge too, if we ever need to just kind of
We've done that
disappear.
one.
Disappeared.
Yeah, that's true. That did work out pretty well.
We can
From
make three of us
William
invisible. So that helps reduce the attention we would get.
That's true.
So, and if he looks like a stone sworn, I mean, it could
Except
work.
Conk is with us.
You could pass without a trace.
Yeah, I mean that would be Plan A.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I was counting on that for Plan A because
Okay,
we are
cool.
not.
We could,
Plan A.
we could have.
We are not naturally stealthy.
No, we
I
are not.
know.
So any help you can give us is greatly appreciated.
That's Plan A.
And then if we get caught, we try to lie our way out with that cover story.
Well, and what if we just had the dwarf and the pretend dwarf and the three of us hidden and somebody else out with them? You could be a wolf.
Well, I can either do that, or I can just be a dwarf with a really tall fucking spear. And make someone else invisible.
If
I mean, technically,
And then I can make someone else
you
invisible.
can.
if you make somebody else invisible and then go into your wolf form, that might be less conspicuous because that's actually you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not an illusion because they can see through that, right?
Okay, so what are you guys doing?
All right, we're gonna do Plan A,
Okay.
and we'll go from there.
All right, so what's Plan A?
Pass
Pass
without
out a
trace.
trace.
That's not trace.
We're gonna go in. You're gonna be a stone sworn.
Guy's self as a stone sworn.
Okay, just a random stone sworn that you've seen at like the cop bar.
Yeah. Well, no. I'll pick a dwarf that I knew back in Thulmore Bed, and I'll just create like a.
Persona.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, easy enough. So, Sofka, in order to have Cast Without a Trace maintained, you have to stay with them.
Yeah.
So, you are going... So, everybody's going then, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody's staying behind? Okay. And all of you are who you are, but except for you. You're going to be what? I'm sorry, Log. What are you going to be?
So I'll make someone else invisible, and then I'll be a wolf. I'll be me.
Oh, so who are you casting invisibility on?
You cast it on Conk.
Sokka. Oh,
Yeah, cast it on Conk.
Yeah, so I can cast it on Conk.
Invisibility lasts for 1 minute.
8 hours.
Yeah.
8 hours? Shut up.
Well, it is concentration.
It is concentration. Oh no, sorry, up to 1 hour.
1
Sorry.
hour. I was going to say
mis-
8 hours.
No,
That's
I
mage
misread it.
armor.
That's my bad.
that would be.
That's a long time.
No way.
That's a long time to sit there.
That would have been
invisible.
awesome.
You can cast invisible. Okay, you take
1
them all.
hour. You can absolutely get to Flixen's discount Fixins within an hour for sure. Like
Now,
within
can you
10
do
minutes. You
more
can.
than one or only one?
If I use a spell slot, I can do more than one.
Okay, because if I use one, I can get 2 people.
So you and Sokka, I'll get Conk and Trisheni and
Then it just looks like the two dwarfs are going. Right.
And then we just have to keep
With
up
a
with
wolf.
you.
Okay, so
So did I.
you guys are casting invisibility at higher levels in order to. So raise your hand if you're invisible. We have Cole, Trisheni,
Okay.
Am I invisible?
yeah,
Yes.
Sofka,
and Conk.
and Konk.
Which means they're leading the way.
Got it. So the actual dwarf who was arrested, and the dwarf,
The disguised dwarf.
the strive dwarf that looks like a stone sworn. Okay, cool. You guys go up. You have a stealth check. How I am doing this stealth check, it's not that you're trying to stay out of sight. It's that you're just trying to blend in. Because it's impossible to stay out of sight when you're walking down the center of a fucking thoroughfare.
Do you want
Look
all of
official.
those?
Am I using
Trace.
The rest of
passive
you
or
can
trace?
roll. Whoever is invisible can roll stealth checks at advantage to make sure that you're not making a whole lot of sound because you
Okay.
were
And you
essentially
cast pass
un-
And I
unseen.
cast Pastor without a trace.
Okay.
That's correct. So all of these stealth checks get plus 10.
Are we all rolling, or?
That's good.
Yes, everyone's rolling. The ones that are visible are rolling to just kind of blend in,
Plus 10.
plus
Plus
10.
10.
The ones that are invisible are rolling at advantage, plus 10.
And I'm
Okay.
rolling a disadvantage.
So it's just straight roll.
How the
I'm not invisible.
Oh, that's correct. Good.
I don't know
Wow.
what I did.
Okay, Zemdak, what'd you
But you
get?
still get plus 10.
Yeah.
19 for Conk.
Great.
And because he got advantage, and because I'm not invisible, but I have pass without a trace, it's just the plus 10.
Right.
Correct.
Okay. That's actually still good. So 33.
33. 33. Amazing. Sofka, what'd you get?
27.
27. That was an advantage, correct?
Yes.
Plus 10? Great.
33.
Amazing.
16.
16.
I forgot to add my thing to it.
I
So
rolled
24.
2
24.
27.
27. You guys do an amazingly... you do amazingly well. You do a great job. Every once in a while, a Stone Sworn's patrol will walk by you and just kind of nod at you, and Zemdek, you nod back. Argus, you are behind them, looking as though you are being escorted or you're a prisoner. It's unclear. You don't know. But either way, you're blending in. But you smile a little bit too much and be like, "Hey, what's up? Hey."
I'll elbow him a little bit.
Like, I'll see you
Stay
later.
quiet. You don't
My
want to
hand
attract
lights
any of
up for a
those things.
second.
You put it away. You're like, "Oh, sorry. I have a condition."
I already went there once.
And you move along, eventually making your way with little effort and no issues to the door of Flixen's Discount Fixins. Zemdak, you touch the door. It is most assuredly locked.
Take a quick look around just to make sure there's no actively passing by.
Sure, roll a perception check.
I piss on the front of the building.
Do you really?
Invisible?
No, I'm a wolf.
That's right.
Oh!
21.
But you rolled pretty well, right?
You know, I rolled a 24 or something.
Yeah, so you just look like a mangy city dog.
Yeah.
24?
No, 21.
21. 21, you wait for a moment as a couple people pass. Argus is still doing like the wave thing and smiling. And, yeah. At the other dwarves being like, yes, dwarven camaraderie. Yes, you're a dwarf, I'm a dwarf. We're all dwarf. We're good. Everything's great. How are you doing?
all
How's it
dwarves.
We're all dwarves.
All of us here are dwarves.
Luckily, that display... Luckily, that display is providing you with a good amount of cover, so that you could pretty much get away with whatever it is that you wanted to get away with. The front of this.
I'm going to try to sort of secretively pick the lock.
Sure, go ahead and roll your lockpicking check.
I mean, you have a big distraction next to you. Hey, buddy.
Is that
Dwarves.
that's dex based, right?
Yeah, it's lockpicking. Yeah, it's lockpicking tools, which means it is dex based
Right.
plus your proficiency if you're proficient in lockpicking.
I'm assuming it's been longer.
Yes. Thieves' tools. I got a 18.
18. You. One of your lockpicks gets jammed in there, and it's stuck, sticking out of the lock. Apparently, that wasn't enough to unlock this lock. Flixen apparently was very paranoid, and this lock is a multi-tumbler lock. So you can try again. However,
Yeah,
if you
I'll try
fail, your thieves' tools break off in the lock, and the lock is then broken, and you have to replace your thieves' tools.
If I fail.
If you
Okay.
fail.
Guidance.
Granted, the second check has a higher DC.
Right.
Cole's gonna whisper, come on, Zemdak.
Doesn't that cause you to drop invisibility?
It's
I
not-
cast
or
guidance.
It's not a spell, actually. It's
Yeah.
just an ability. If you cast a spell,
I'm not invisible.
that's correct.
I
Yeah.
cast guidance
But
on
I'm
it.
just saying, come on, Zemdak, so that way nobody sees us.
You just hear an invisible whisper being like, "Come on, get back! Don't nobody sees us." Sorry, I don't know why I did that voice. It just sounded creepy, and then you just kind of put your hand on his shoulder.
Doors, man.
Great. So you get guidance and inspiration for this one if you want to try one more time.
Okay. Yeah, so 16 plus 9 is 25.
25. That was exactly the DC. You. And the door opens.
Jump inside.
All of you enter in, correct? Okay,
Yes.
all of you enter in, close the door behind you. You're out of the sight of the public eye. You're within this area. It looks pretty much like how you left it. The magic items are where they were. Granted, it's only been about like 10 hours since this whole thing transpired, right? So not a whole the whole thing of finding out who's dead and what properties need to be transferred via possession to the state hasn't really occurred yet. You find yourself with complete agency in this place.
Can we secure the door behind us?
You could lock it again.
How so?
Lock it.
Right, the lock is still workable, so you could lock the door. Yes, correct.
Yeah, it's...
Okay, you lock the door behind you. You are all in here. What are you guys doing?
Steal
I
shit.
assume you guys that are invisible just stay invisible for as long as you can.
Is there any half plate here?
Half plate. That's a very good question. There is.
I'm gonna take it.
You take it.
Is
Yeah.
the lightning Gopash still here?
It is.
I take it.
Is there a breastplate as well?
Is the money still here?
So the money would most likely be kept in the office. The office is in the back through another doorway that is locked.
Is there a net here?
There's not a net here. And you I'm sorry, what
A breastplate?
Breastplate? There is.
Okay, I'm taking the breastplate and the half plate.
You guys, I love how you just straight up loot places. I mean, I love and I really hate it at the same time.
I mean, she was a no good Nick, you know, like
She deserved it.
she did.
These are dwarven made items. I mean, they're fine.
Communists, come on.
I'm returning.
Communism.
I'm returning Gopash to the people that they came from. You know, that's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna head back to the office to search for
I
whatever I can
love how
find
you're
back
just pretty
there.
much anybody from any other country going to an English museum and being like, "This belongs to my people. You need to release it to me." Which is like you're pretty much in the right. Yeah, you're absolutely within the right.
I'm gonna head back to the office to look for an entrance.
The door to the office is locked.
I was gonna head that way too, so
Okay,
let me see
so
if
you
I
and
can
Cole-
pick this one.
You want to
Is
try
there-
that? Most.
Is there any
And
just
the
like
magic items.
What?
Yeah, stuff that she has looted from. Well, we don't know.
I want to take all our magic items.
Well, that's
So-
what we're planning on doing.
Yeah. What's
Are
still
there
here?
any crossbow bolts?
I prepared for this. I had a feeling you guys would do this, but I wasn't sure if you would steep that low. But fuck,
It's
here
not
you go.
steeping
Have you
low
met
for
us?
her.
Yes, we will.
Not for her.
I mean, we stole Gutbuster last time. You don't think we're gonna go after magic items?
You stole? Oh, that's right. You did steal.
I have.
we didn't
I have.
steal.
And alcohol.
You totally did.
That was
No, yeah, no.
That was
We
fast
broke
stealing.
into the room that had the
We
Gutbuster.
did.
No.
Triseni, we
Right.
did.
No,
right,
yeah.
right.
We
You
went
guys-
to go look at Eleazar and try
Somebody that's looking for magical items, please roll an investigation check.
to. We know where a few are.
Yeah,
They
for
still
those
are
of you
there.
that have been here
Plus-
before and have been shown said magical items, you can roll this with advantage.
3.
Yes.
Who was that? Investigation?
Yeah.
Okay. 19.
Alright, I
19.
have 17.
22.
22.
I got it, too.
The lightning Kopesh is still here. The Targe of Heroic Tales is still here. And the Leather Beard is still here.
Yoink!
Yes, we can give Conk.
The gold value of all of these items put together goes to almost 300 gold.
The half plate is 750.
He just said
Yeah, no,
magic stuff.
the half plate is expensive. It's just not a magical item.
Right.
Yeah, the half plate is here. It is one that was just made from Godamir. It appears to be a part of a stock that she doesn't sell because nobody fucking buys half plate. Here, they're more interested in the magical items. Like that's the stuff that she flips and turns over. That's where she makes her money. The half plate's there for appearances.
That's why I took it, because it also would increase my...
What was the second item that you?
The Targe.
The Targe of Heroic Tales,
Targe.
the Lightning Kopesh, and the Leather Beard.
I don't suppose there's any potions, are there?
Big,
Oh, yeah.
a big shield, I remember correctly.
Right, and you have
Not
to
from
tell a
what you
tale
were able
for
to
it
discern for those investigation checks.
Right.
So, I have
You
the
know
choice to
the
make.
one alchemist that's in town.
Do I no longer have disadvantage and keep
Should
my
have
same
an arcane
AC, I
problem.
get plus 1 dice? That's my choice between the two armors I stole.
Okay, Zemdak, would you please roll a lock-picking check for the office door?
I mean, we're taking all this, right? We're gonna take all. Okay, cool. Just
I'm
double
not
check.
strong enough for plate armor.
Should we check the office door for traps?
24 on that one.
Too late now.
Yeah, too late now.
We've been in
24.
Well, yeah, but she was in
Again,
there.
this lock is this Flixen was super paranoid. This lock is high quality. You feel like you were just there, but
get guidance.
your lockpick gets stuck. It is stuck now in the lock. You can try it again or leave your lockpick.
Since I've been in there, can I Misty Step in? Because I've been in the room.
Right, but specifically Misty Step says you have to see through it, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think it does.
If
But
could look under the
I
door.
set the precedence for that if you've been in some place before that you can teleport into it. I open the door to a boatload of big problems down the road.
I actually think you set that precedence back when they Misty stepped out of the trap in the tomb. Because the gate.
No, they saw.
Yeah,
they
that's
saw.
right. No, that's
they
right.
saw
It didn't come out.
Yeah,
It didn't
I believe it
close until after
specifically
you
says in
saw.
the spell that you have to see.
No, that's why I was.
So yeah, so it does say in the spell.
Yeah, because I don't want to be persnickety and like super like crunchy about it. But if I allow that, there could be so much crap that you can do
And
later
I forgot
on.
the order of events because I forgot that she pulled it after she Misty stepped, and that's what shut the gate.
Mm-hmm.
So that was me forgetting a step that we did.
We could just break it down.
Yeah, that was what I was saying.
You could break it down. How much noise you want to make?
Do you want to try again? You didn't.
Crowbar.
You didn't.
Oh my god! I hate you so much.
Gizmo holds out the crowbar and says, "Argus."
Sorry. So who's opening this door?
Not me.
Oh man, am I now the
Somebody
one
do
with
it.
highest strength?
Well, we
think
had the same
14.
modifier because mine's 15, but it's the same
Oh,
modifier.
you're stronger than I am.
What's
By-
your...
But you're a wolf right now. You're gonna have to transform back into your wolf.
Yeah, which is fine.
I only have one lower.
Bard.
I have +2. Or Conk does, so we could have Conk do it.
Oh, right.
But Conk's invisible. I'd rather keep him that way.
I mean, with the...
It's not an attack, though.
I mean,
I have the same +2, so
this technical. Okay, so
You-
just my ruling going forward. If you're using a crowbar to break down a door, it's still essentially attacking the door. It's not like using a tool on a door. I mean,
Well, it depends where you're doing the
Are
from.
there
Don't
lockpicks
fucking
in
at
here?
me. No, it's essentially you're
TJ,
attacking.
He
the door.
already, to be fair,
Why?
he
Are there
already
lock
hates that we
picks
get advantage with
in
the
the
crowbar. I'm just gonna say.
Hold on. The thieves' tools and the lockpicks that Zemdecker's using are currently jammed into the lock.
Correct.
Hold on. Just hold on. Meaning that the only way to try to lockpick the door would be to continue, or those lockpicks will be blocked off and knocked off in the door. You, via your investigation check, looking for extra additional thieves' tools, there doesn't appear to be any in the store front.
Okay. All right, how do you want to break down the door?
I mean, if we want to be really noisy,
I don't really want to be noisy.
I can always thunderwave it open.
I could also take
That's
my
like your
axe to
go-to.
it.
I swear every time.
We don't want to be noisy.
All right.
What's the door made of?
Crowbar at the hinges.
It's made out of wood, banded
Alright.
when reinforced with steel.
Is there a maul in here? Like a big old hammer?
I mean,
I
there's a
have a
regular-sized maul, about the size of your galvanized steel maul that you carry around with
That's
you.
amazing.
Somebody use that.
I have a warhammer.
Yeah, just do the...
I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
just
going
do
to
it.
be as loud. That's still going to be loud, though.
Does anyone
Back
have
in the
silence?
I did not prepare silence today. I didn't think we were robbing.
And there's no...
Wait.
What
There's
a
no
horrible
window?
decision you
Wait,
have
wait,
made.
wait.
No window?
I can summon a ghost. I can pass through solid objects.
Really? You want to do
can
that after what
Can it
you did
interact
us?
with solid
Is
objects?
that okay?
Hey,
Pretty sure it
Is it
can.
your... It's
How-
under your control.
Is
Okay.
this
I
your
don't wanna do
servant?
it. I wanna say-
No, this is something else.
Yeah, but can your unseen servant go? Because can't you summon it within 60 feet of you? And does it have to be somewhere you've seen? But you
Oh,
actually
you know
know
what?
what it
Yeah,
looks like.
it doesn't say that to summon it somewhere I can see. It just says within
Yeah, it
60
just
feet.
There you go.
Actually, it just says.
And you know what that looks like. So can't you have him unlock the door?
Can it interact with solid
In
objects?
an unoccupied space.
It picked up
On the
thing.
ground.
All right,
in range.
Can
Adam,
perform
fact
simple
checker,
tasks
can you
such
look
as
up-
fetching things, cleaning, mending, folding, clothes?
It can do that?
Yes.
So it can open a door.
Is that unseen servant?
Yeah.
That's not unseen servant. That's
I
unseen
know.
no, no.
cast.
Well, no. But I can do that. I can still cast Unseen Servant.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
But
Because it's a
on the
ritual.
other side of the door?
It doesn't have to be somewhere I can see. It says within 60 feet within range.
An unoccupied space within range.
Okay, so log takes 10 minutes.
It takes
Well,
10
we're
minutes.
How do you
losing.
do-
So
Yeah. You guys are
been probably
losing.
about
Well, you
10
guys are
minutes.
losing. Who wants to grab the charge of heroic tales?
I mean,
Somebody raise
I'll
it.
take it.
Well, I don't know what it does.
I'll
so.
take it. I use a shield.
Okay,
Yeah,
Argus,
anyone else use a
you have the
shield?
charge of
I
heroic
use
tales.
shield.
It'll need to be identified later. Who grabs the leather beard?
I do.
Zamdak grabs the leather beer. Will need to be identified later. Who grabs the lightning kopesh?
I do.
Trisheni grabs the lightning kopesh. It'll need to be identified later. While all this looting is happening, Log, how do you ritually cast your unseen servant?
I start singing the song.
Perfect. Great.
That's perfect pitch. You got this.
You finish singing your song and doing your little dance, and you feel like the spell has completed. It's on the other side of the door. And that's when we'll take our break and to have dinner. Guys, we'll be back in a couple minutes. Don't go too far. If you're watching this episodically, make sure to hop over to the next episode. We'll see you there.